There you go.
Satchel out. Satchel out. Deleted.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the semi-final of the League Ego, the second semi-final of the League Ego Oasis Cup. My name is Grizzly. I've got Ready Whip with me. What's going on, Della? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I already finished my cup of coffee this morning. I live in the United States, so I'm on a totally different time of day than you guys. So coffee was necessary, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready for this exciting semi-final game. We get to see who is going to play true rippers in the finals. Whoever wins today gets to do that.
Extremely excited about that. What a semi-final it was yesterday. Can we just talk about that for a bit? I mean, true rippers, they did get challenged. I mean, I thought it would be an easier road than what they had to play with, but Team Punished actually putting up a really good fight, giving them a little bit of a scare. But True Rippers in the end reigned supreme, winning that best of 3 in that third map. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it is the second semi-final, and man, the lineups here. It's Revenant eSports taking on the Orgless 5, and both these teams have put in such strong performances this tournament so far, including the quarterfinals. Not to forget the longest best of 3 I have ever witnessed in South Asian Valorant between Revenant Esports and Team Valor. Tyler, what even was that, man?
Dude, we needed a nap after that one, man. I needed food, I needed sleep, I needed just to chill. That was such a long game, but it was so good. If the tournament ended there, I think we all would have been pleased. But I hope that Revenant Esports has taken a nap themselves now that we're here, because they're going to need it going up against this Orgless 5 team. This team, like their name suggests, they're not supported by an organization. It's just a team of 5 of them, and these guys are the real deal. There's a reason they're in the semifinals. They are here to win, and so this is by no means going to be a blowout match. I think these two teams are going to face off, and man, I don't know how we don't go to the third map, to be honest with you.
Honestly, exactly. And speaking of the map pool, I think it is time for us to take a quick look at this. And folks, we have a Fracture pick today for the first time in this tournament, at least since we've started streaming in the quarterfinals. Thoughts about your first match in Fracture, Tyler?
Dude, I am really excited, actually. This is just such a, it being, I think the newest map in Valorant, and not having a whole lot of tournament play up to this point in our tournament. I'm really excited to see how this works. Just with the concept of the map, one team spawning in the middle, the other team having access to both sides. I think that's just this is going to create some good gameplay, some good counterplay, some flanks from either side, and both teams are going to have to be on the lookout for people coming from directions I'm not sure they'll expect. But I'm really excited to see this match. It's going to be fun to watch.
I agree 100%. A little bit disappointed that there's no split that has been like the map that is fought out the most. We've got some interesting map statistics as well for us to look at, which we will switch over to in just a bit. But map number 2 is going to be Bind, and then we're going to have Haven. So that's what we have. Bind, again, happy to see that. It's going to be an interesting dynamic with the teleports, and of course Haven. But we'll take a look at the map stats in just a bit. Haven is an interesting map, Tyler. 3 sites, definitely more attacker friendly. We see teams doing much better in the attacking half than in defense.
Yeah, and with there being 3 sites, it really forces whoever's defending to really spread out across the map, keep an ear out for footsteps and utility being used, but also be careful not to be tricked, because what a lot of attacking teams will do is they'll make a ton of noise in one direction while just a couple others are floating around a different site waiting for that rotation to happen so they could easily take a site. So that Haven is it's one of the most competitive maps, I think, in this tournament and in this game in general. And both teams are really going to have to bring their A game if we make it to that map, because I have a feeling that Fracture and Bind, those are gonna take a little bit. I think we're gonna be on those two maps for a while. So by the time we get to Haven, I just hope these two teams aren't tired from duking it out.
Agreed. Let's switch over now to some of the map stats that we have. We'll take a look at what we've got going on here. Scar God on the side of Revenant eSports. The main agent being Breach, an average combat score of 202.9. Now this man, we saw him playing on the Neon in Split. Tyler, any thoughts about that? He put up such a good performance, and I was a little bit worried about seeing Neon, not yet seen Neon's role in the meta really develop well, but it was effective, to say the least.
It was. I think just to be honest, I think he probably would have been more effective on a different agent, but it was nice to see Neon being used actually to like a useful capacity, just because I don't know how well it's been figured out at this point to use her different abilities. I think her wall is effective just for getting on site and kind of splitting up vision so you can progress onto site. Her molly's cool with the bounce and how it explodes and where it bounces and stuff like that. And then her ultimate's powerful, but you have to be really aggressive, and he did play aggressively. He did. So what do you expect him to play? Do you think he'll play Neon again today?
I've seen him do a really mean Sky on Haven, and I think that's what we'll see. And I think if Breach is one of his main agents, Breach is a super effective agent on Fracture. His Aftershock, his stun, and his flashes are so useful in sort of creating spaces on site and helping their teams to move in. So I think I would say he should go a Breach pick in Fracture for sure. But let's look at some of these other stats we've got. I think on the side of Orgless 5, who is the featured player we've got? There you go. Trans.
With the Killjoy main. Average combat score of 143.5, kills per round 0.54, first kill rounds 0.05. That's kind of expected, especially if you're a Killjoy main. Assists per round 0.27. So even as Killjoy, I mean, he's looking to lock down sites. He's looking to provide support for his team and figure out where everyone is with his turret and stuff like that. So Trans has been leading this team and has gotten them to this point where now they get to face Revenant on this map pool that we have for them today.
I agree. Killjoy pick, of course. Now on Fracture, I don't know if we're gonna see Killjoy or we might just see a Chamber pick. Remember, some of these stats are from even before Chamber even came out. So we're gonna have to wait and see if Chamber will be the choice of Sentinel tonight. But we also have some map stats, folks, and this is where it gets interesting. Remember, the pool today is Fracture, Bind, Haven, and take a look at this. The Orgless 5. Wow, 100% win rate on Bind.
In the past 60 days, Orgless 5 has not lost on Bind in official matches. That is insane. Look, and they're super strong on attack and 50% on defense. I mean, that's okay. I mean, Bind is an attacker-sided map, so to win 50% of the time, like 50% on defense, that's right where they need to be, and that's the reason they're winning 100% on Bind. But Grizzly, look at their win rate on Haven.
I was just going to say that. You know what jumps out at me here is 29% win rate on Haven. And Tyler, I think so low. So you know what that means for them is that if they win Fracture, there's a good chance that they will probably win Bind as well. And if they don't do that, if they don't win Fracture, they might pull back Bind from Revenant. But those stats are not telling a good story for them in Haven. And if it does actually go into map number 3. But ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are more or less set. So let's get going and take a look at the...
Let's do it!
All right, this is what we've got. And Jivix is going to be on the Raze, an interesting pick. Stranger on the Breach, not surprised by that at all. We had some questions about Scargod's pick. I think I've got it supremely wrong. He's actually going to be on the Raze, it looks like.
You know what it is, Grizzly? I think everyone's aware of this, but Jet's nerf. You were talking to me about it right before
There
we
is
started
no
today.
Jet pick today at
There's
all.
no Jet pick today. An agent that was before this update a standard pick, but now Raze, the main duelist for both of these teams. And I think with the Jet update, they don't want to risk not being able to dash right away and not being used to that ability. So this is probably the right pick.
And I think it's going to take a while, at least a few weeks, before all these pro players sort of figure out where she sits in the meta after the update. And obviously she can't do the same things that she used to do before, like, you know, peeking out wide with the AWP, knowing that she can dash back to safety at any given point. Remember, folks, now Jet cannot do that at any given point. There is a 12-second window once the dash is activated in order for them to be able to dash. And if they don't dash within those 12 seconds, they lose the ability. That is incredible. It can be replenished with two kills in that round, but that is leaving a lot to luck, if you ask me.
Yep, and you know, the defender side of Orgless right now, pretty much setting up how I expected them to. Chamber on this map is and most maps honestly, is able to lock down a site by himself and give his team enough time to find a rotation. But here we go, semi-final, Revenant eSports versus Orgless 5. The map has begun.
It looks like a lot of presence outside of B this time from Revenant eSports. They are attacking first, a quick reminder. And currently B side is being held only by Chamber. This is a 4-man A stack. I don't know what's happening here with Orgless 5. They had a 4-man A stack. They are rotating with haste, and then Trick has done well.
Trick using that shorty effectively. Takes out his own sheriff, gets out of there so nicely. And I'm not gonna lie, for Trick, that was amazing defense by him. Very clutch for his team. It's all up to Breach. Takes one out, Ember. And there it is, Trick getting 3 kills in that first round. That was awesome.
I was a little bit worried that there was only one player holding down B side. It was Trick, but man, he used his utility well. He used his shorty to lower their HP and then pulls out his sheriff. And in the meantime, you know, he had a lot of help from Stranger with that beautiful stun over at B Heaven, and then managed to pick up 3 kills in the end and still hold on to the site and get out there alive. A first round on the board. A very, very impressive round from Orgless 5. Revenant eSports, look at what they're doing. They're forcing the buy. Let's do this.
They're forcing it. Oh yeah. Revenant eSports, they want to win this one. This is going to set up their economy well, but if they don't, they're going to be at least 1 or 2 rounds behind. Let's see where they go. A little bit more patient this time. Trick just watching and waiting for them to come as Wimp and Logista make their way around. They're going to run into each other very soon. Trick's going to be ready to snap out of there too. Ooh, but he can't. Ooh, Logista with the sheriff taking him down. Here you go, Casper. Casper knows Scargod's there, but gets blinded, and Casper gets taken up by Scargod.
That is just beautiful. And B-side control has been lost. Revenant eSports are now firmly in control of this. Will get the plan down, no problem. And Scargod wants more blood. He's out for more blood. Take a look at his position. Take a look at his position.
See what happens here. Beast trying to get some pressure on Ember here on the side. Stranger doing what he can in middle, but just gets taken out. And there it is, Revenant eSports. That force buy coming in handy for him. Lost 2, but able to keep 3, and now they're going to be able to do some stuff with their eco because they're at least 1,000 credits ahead of Orgless 5 here.
Making that force by work, and despite losing pistol round, Revenant eSports pulling things back in that second round with that force by 1-1 on the scoreboard. And now it's going to be Orgless 5 who will be forced into an eco. Jivix actually picked up a couple of top kills early on in that retake, which I thought was really working out for them. But in the end, it was a little bit too much for them to handle. Nice little bonus here from Revenant eSports. Actually, it's an easy round for them, surely. They got a full buy, full shields. They got 4 Spectres of Vandal up against what? A Sheriff and a Shorty. This should be an easy round for them. This should be an easy round for them. In fact, they should probably be focusing on not losing any of these weapons and then coming in for a strong bonus in that next round. But Salt here. Salt Trick.
Salt Trick, who almost gets caught out by that Vandal. And here comes Revenant eSports onto site. Last round, they were very, very strategic. They had the system working, and now
Casper nearly taking a second as well with that Shorty, and that is value for money, ladies and gentlemen. 150 creds and getting a kill is something else now.
Yeah, Beast about to get taken out by Knight Rider, and he does.
They're not going for the plant, Revenant eSports.
Spike, yeah, Spike has not been planted. I was just about to say that. Oh my gosh, Salt Trick. A little too much for you.
Spike down B.
Surely some confusion, some miscommunication here. That was an unnecessary pick to lose. And Stranger
Yeah, I
here.
don't
Oh,
know
he has
if didn't
spotted.
plant.
Spike planted.
Uh-oh.
Spotted Logista here.
He's gotta be careful.
Player standing.
Takes
Wow.
one.
Can he
He's
get
just
this
got
pick
the
on
classic.
Logista? He
He
does!
can.
He's got a stun.
There's 2. Pick up that Vandal. Can't get Knight Rider. Oh, a great job by Stranger, though, to disrupt Revenant eSports there at the end. They lost the round, but that was, I think, you know, as far as having a pistol round and having to come out weak, they did really well.
Absolutely, and I was talking about how Revenant eSports need to focus on taking away as many of those weapons into that next round. They've only survived with 1, and wow, what a round. Was it Stranger? He was unbelievable.
It was. Stranger really, like I said, he disrupted everything there at the end. They did not expect him to be coming with that classic, and now full buys from each team. This round's going to be pretty crucial. Let's see who gets to keep their guns. Both teams are going to be trying to. Here comes Jivix with the kill with his ultimate.
Down
He gets
B.
1. He gets Scar
Let's
God.
go.
One enemy remaining.
That is some aggression straight off the bat from Orgless 5. And they're like,
Look at that.
let's go. I mean, a full buy, and wow, they just pushed out of where was that? Was that on A side? Yeah, it was on B side actually.
It was.
Arcade. Unbelievable. And Revenant eSports now will be forced into an eco. Looks like they did come in with a 4 spy in that next round. So things are all squared up, and this is, if these first 4 rounds have anything, if tell us anything about what this matchup is gonna be like, Tyler, I tell you what, we could be in for another overtime on top of overtime kind of game once again.
Yeah, these teams are just trading rounds, and we have yet to see one be more dominant over the other. A little bit different of a push now, though. First time we're seeing teams push over to A site, and Orgless is not falling for it. They are ready to face Team Revenant as they push on here. Scar God, super low already. It's dangerous.
Ooh, the Rolling Thunder being used here.
Rolling Thunder coming in. Ooh, and Logista and Scar God get taken out, and Ember. Wimp, it's all up to you. He takes 1 out.
Last player standing.
Wow.
He did
Spike
more than I
down
thought he
A.
was going to do there. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's 2v1.
Knight Rider
Casper with
on the
a
Sage.
Great lineup.
Yeah, he doesn't have a gun though, Knight Rider. He's only got the Sheriff to work with. He's got some Sage utility, but how useful can that be? We're about to find out.
It's not going to be very useful.
Not useful enough. That's what it was.
Nope. He
Now-
wasn't able to get past his wall fast enough. Casper was just too quick.
Here's my criticism for Revenant eSports in that round, Tyler. I don't know if the commitment of the Rolling Thunder was on, honestly. And I don't know why they decided to do it. They didn't have the firepower. They just backed themselves, and obviously you can't really, be too critical about that. I'm always for backing your abilities, but the odds were just not in their favor, and in the end, it was an expensive investment with no return whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what the goal is there. Salt Trick, he has an op this round. But both teams' economies, it looks like their economy is slightly better. I mean, actually significantly better. But neither team's able to get their economies looking robust is the word I'm going to use here. So once again, just showing how evenly these teams are matched. And we're going to see another B-side push here. Here they come.
A lot of presence in arcade here. Now the op is on the other side.
And he gets one.
Gets one.
And that smoke from the enemy team actually coming in handy and allowing him to make his way out.
And what's interesting is that Knight Rider's all the way on the other side on A side, just trying to keep a sense of what's happening here. And I think the call has been made that A side is completely empty. Perhaps he has more room than he thinks. He can actually take control of site a little bit.
I think so, and I think Orgless is still trying to figure it out. Scar God is still over on B site, surely to distract them as three of them make their way over. Okay, here comes the big rotation from Orgless.
That's how you use the Rolling Thunder. There you go.
That was good, and now let's rotate back over to B.
That's what it looks like. 14 seconds on the clock. Does he have enough time?
Surely he
10
does.
seconds left.
He has.
He's gonna get the plant down.
And he has the Rolling Thunder again.
How many times is he gonna
One
get
enemy remaining.
his ultimate?
Wow.
Oh, here we go. It's all up to Beast.
Oh no! Oh no! That nade! That was so
5
close.
HP. I'm not sure how you do this. Yeah, save the op, get out. This is the play, I think. Let them have this
Definitely.
round. And once again, these teams are so good. They're so even.
Revenant eSports so good though. That rotation, and I'm sure the call was from Knight Rider, and I felt like he had a bit more room to sort of take control of side. Beast was all the way on the other side of A main, and maybe he didn't know that. They didn't want to chance it, but nonetheless they've picked up a round thanks to that good communication and good calls from the IGL. A third round on the board, 3-3. And Tyler, I think it's time for us to talk about the magic number on Fracture. Yikes. I don't even know. I don't even know what that looks like, honestly. But I think Fracture is one of the most balanced maps in this game, honestly. And I know a lot of people will hate me for saying that. They call it the wrist. They call it the wrist breaker, Tyler, because of the angles that you gotta clear. You know, it's extremely obtuse sometimes, and
Obtuse, great word. We're using big words today.
we're
man.
using big words today.
What are we doing?
but I think I think it's one of the more balanced maps, and I would say a 6-6. My prediction for this half is honestly 6-6. That's what I think.
Yeah,
what's happening?
I have to agree with you.
What? Scar God will
What
be
just
so disappointed with that. I'm not sure how that did not take Beast down, and Orgless 5 doing well here to pull things back. Only Wimp and Knight Rider alive. Knight Rider
Now
takes
it's
down
only
one.
to Wimp. Ooh, he takes out a chamber with the op. 1v2. He can do this.
He can absolutely do
One
it.
enemy remaining.
Takes one out, but he gets caught through the box, and there's another round for Orgless. Save that op once again.
Maybe you want to defuse,
Yeah,
bro?
I agree with your assessment. 6-6 at half. Neither of these teams have been able to go up 2 rounds on the other, so 6-6 at half is probably what we're going to end up seeing. And this op, they they keep keeping it. I mean, they kind of have to.
Scar
Most likely
God.
giving it back to Here it comes.
Scar
There
God
it
would be
is.
so disappointed, Tyler, with that
What happened?
showstopper. I don't even know how. It looked like he aimed directly at Beast's feet. It looked like
And
it
Beast
connected.
was able to take him out.
He took the damage as well, and didn't even die. He took like 80 damage. I don't know how that happened. Honestly,
I wonder, was there, with the update, was there a nerf on raids as well?
not that I'm aware of.
Damage nerf?
Not that I'm aware. I think it's pure luck. I think it's pure luck. It just happens. It's just one of those things, you know. And here's Orgless 5 with a showstopper
go.
of their own coming in from Javix.
Obscuring vision.
And they know that it's an eco round from Revenant eSports, so Orgless 5 trying to
We
bully.
might see the first round of this whole map where one team will go about 2 rounds on the other. We'll see. Revenant has to be careful though. Knight Rider with the only Phantom on their team.
A lot of ultimates to work with here, including the orbital strike.
Ooh, Knight Rider getting taken out. Flawless match coming in from Orgless 5 there, and they're finally up 2. Revenant's gonna win this next one though. That's the way this map is
That's just
gonna
the way
go.
it's going, yeah, at this point. A quick look at the scoreboard. Jivix off to a good start, 11-6 for him. He's looked pretty solid, and on the side of and of course Stranger nearly clutching that insane round a few rounds earlier. Doing well. A Trick has looked good on the op as well, 7-5 for him. And on the side of Revenant eSports, Wimp off to a good start, 9-7, looking strong already. Down 2 Rolling Thunders, and possibly we'll see another one in a couple of rounds. But an early commitment of the Viper Spit this time around. Casper on A site. Outside of B site, my apologies. In fact, this is on Arcade. So completely denying this space to Revenant eSports. Logista is there though.
Interestingly enough, is they're going to B side, but look at this. They're taking the zip line through mid.
Knight Rider.
Being careful to be silent as they pass over that middle section so that they can't hear the zip line go.
I mean, they can only do
Here
this
we
if
go.
they have so much control of spawn, right? That's the thing though. You need to have full control of spawn on both sides.
You do, and look how clean Revenant's about to come onto B site. I know that Stranger and Trick are coming in, but how clean it's happening. Here they come.
It's interesting because they don't have anyone else on site. They don't have anybody else on site apart from Casper, who's holding down that arcade spot.
Right, so now Orgless has to try and make their way on, not having anything. Oop, here comes that utility from Revenant's breach, and here we go. Spike plant coming in, no players taken out yet.
And Logista has kept this position. He's waiting for Casper to slip up. And if he gets this pick on Casper, they have complete control of Arcade. And maybe that's the play here from Orgless 5.
Yep. Astro ultimate coming in. Revenant just getting picked
One
apart.
enemy remaining.
It's
Wow.
all up to Logista, and there it is. Okay, 6-3. I don't know that this is what we thought would happen. But Orgless 5 coming in with a 6-3 lead. Both teams still very strong, still very evenly matched. Just Orgless 5 able to make it out just slightly ahead.
And I think it makes sense now to me why Casper wasn't even bothered about site. Because even if they did get the site in a retake, if you have control of Arcade, it leaves the attacking team so vulnerable during that retake. And that's exactly what we saw. They had no control of Arcade whatsoever just because of Casper's Viper Spit.
Right, and that's just one way that it proves and shows that these guys are professionals at what they do. I mean, that was such a strategic Viper ultimate just to shut down that side, and now it looks like an A push coming in. Utility. Oh, Jivik's getting taken out, but not before he takes out Knight Rider. Scar God with a weird pack. He tried to pack himself out of there, but not able to do it. And here we go. It looks like Revenant's still on site, still going to get the plant off. Cypher ultimate coming in.
That is
And that's another interesting thing, Grizzly, that we didn't talk about before this map, but Cypher picks in almost every matchup we've seen so far.
Cypher's back, baby.
Cypher's back. Okay, Salt Trick looking nervous. Flicking his mouse everywhere. Oops, here we go. It's up to
Brilliant.
Casper, and he does take it out. Thrifty round coming in from Revenant.
This is what we love to see. This is what we love to see. And Revenant Esports, it was a half buy. I didn't even get time to talk about it because the pace of this game, the tempo of this game has been so high. But this is what I'm talking about, man. Every time I see a team win a Thrifty, I'm like, these guys know what's up. These guys know what it takes to win. And it doesn't really affect Orgless 5's economy too much. They still have full buys.
I'm too far.
Still have full buys. I mean, they were ahead in their economy. So, if they lose this round, their economy is going to be slightly behind. Salt Trick has that op, and he's just waiting for them to turn the corner. He's about to get at least one. Ooh, can't get it before he has to tally away.
You will be disappointed with that. Surely.
Casper looks like that he's holding down B side by himself. Scar God getting that ultimate orb.
And
Both
just
teams trying to get a feel.
and Wimp has his Rolling Thunder again.
How many times is he going to get his ultimate?
Is he buying them off the internet at this point? I mean,
okay, it looks like Revenant's pushing the arcade. Casper ready for him though.
was he
They're not
stunned?
getting
And
anywhere past him.
they've lost the spike. It's in a tough spot.
Casper's on top of it. Casper's on top of it. They were able to grab it without having to go up into arcade though.
Beast gets another pick though. Knight Rider will get the trade onto Jivix.
All right, and Chambers Utility coming in, letting him know that somebody tripped his camera. He knows
30
where to
seconds
look.
left.
The great thing about this map for the defenders at least is you can hold down the middle section and
One
quickly
enemy
rotate
remaining.
between. And Stranger taking out Logista. It's only up to Wimp. It's a 1v3. He has the spike. Is it too tall of an order? There's not enough time.
Just considering
10
it.
seconds
Just considering the Rolling Thunder.
Here it comes.
Oh no! The Astro
Soul
pull!
Trick. What is that?
Beast just pulls him out of cover and enough for Trick to put that AWP bullet into him. And Revenant eSports in the end, they lost. I thought they lost too many picks on A site. For my comfort, for my liking, honestly.
Last round in the
They could have been a bit more
They
committed
did.
to B. Especially when Wimp, Wimp had the Rolling Thunder. Perhaps work with it. But nonetheless, 7-4. And surely Revenant eSports are coming up a little bit short in this first half. At least an Orgless 5. Strong start for them. Jivix looking so good, 14-8. Not really a full buy for Revenant eSports, but they will somehow scrape through. Scargod will have to do with just a Spectre and a Bulldog in the hands of Knight Rider. Here we go.
Yep. And I think Revenant's going to be happy just to make it a 7-5 to finish out this half. 7-4 just, I think, puts a little too much pressure on them. Salt Trick with 2 ops right now.
Does he? Oh my gosh.
Okay, here we go. Scar God. They have to know Casper's up there. Casper drops the spike. Scar God's waiting for him. Casper's right around the corner. And Scar God. And Casper jumps around with the judge.
And
will
Beast-
Just in
not kill
time.
my
And
ally.
Beast has seen Ember, but he can't shoot him because of the Cypher trap.
Off your feet!
Here we go. There's the Rolling Thunder.
Back-to-back Rolling Thunders from both the breaches cancel each other out, and they're still in the same place. Ember will get
Ember
a
taking out Jivix. What's going to happen here? They're waiting.
Beast is on the flank.
Revenant
Beast is on the flank.
eSports trying to make their way back to A. Going to be able to do it though. Yet to lose a player. Casper.
One
Hold it.
enemy
Oh,
remaining.
and there he goes. Worthy sacrifice. Casper takes out Wimp, but because of that peak, Knight Rider's able to take out Casper, and now it's all up to Stranger. And
Surely.
I just don't think he has enough time.
Spike planted.
He's a tall order here. Has to take 4 out. It's hit heavy. Almost doesn't avoid that Hellfire. And he's getting surrounded now. Taken out. There's 7-5. That's what Revenant needed to go into the halftime switch.
100%. And in the end, I thought
Sides.
Beast's flank could have been so much more than not even taking down Ember. He had a chance to do it earlier, but he actually chose not to shoot. Interesting choice from him. But in the end, Revenant eSports pulling it back 7-5 on the scoreboard now. They will be defending. And Logista is a mean Cypher, I'll tell you that much. This guy, we've seen him play Killjoy as well before. He's an incredible sentinel. And needless to say, Orgless 5 is going to have a lot of work to do to take away 6 rounds from the second half. 7-5 on the scoreboard at halftime.
Yep, just looking at the way I'm watching Logista set up all of his traps and his camera, and man, he is locking down this A site. It doesn't look like it's gonna matter.
What's happening here? Revenant eSports have pushed out of B Arcade.
They're fully coming over to A, freely giving Orgless the site.
Yeah, but Orgless doesn't even know it, and they're still holding outside of of B. They haven't gotten B side control yet, which they
Yeah, I
don't know
wonder
it's
what's
empty.
happening.
They don't know it's empty. They don't know that it's.
Oh, they missed their opportunity, and here comes
and
Revenant back.
and they come back. They've actually walked all the way back.
You know what? They're giving each other a lot of respect here. They're not taking it for granted. Oh, no one's even seen each other yet.
And I think it's because of
Orgless
the
5.
it's because of Knight Rider's wall that they knew that no one has come across, because they haven't broken the wall. The wall is eventually fallen now.
By this point, both teams have now set up in their respective defending positions. Stranger's about to see Knight Rider. Uses his tremor.
30 seconds left.
Causes some noise at B as they rotate over to A. And I don't know that Revenant's falling for it.
They have so many Cypher traps to deal with though here. That's the thing for
They do.
me.
Oh, wow.
And there you
Casper,
go.
Jivix both getting taken out.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That Cypher utility on a site is the
10
most
seconds
annoying thing. And Logista's down to like half an HP.
Ooh, Ember taking out Ember and
remaining.
Logista.
What?
It's only up to Knight Rider. All of a sudden, Orgless able to turn that around. How did they do that? Oh, now Stranger knows she's there. Knight Rider with the classic, so not as much accuracy in range. Knight Rider pulling out his knife at the end, knowing that he didn't really have a shot through that. And 8-5, the scoreboard for Orgless against this Revenant team.
Orgless 5. I mean, you have to look at how both these teams approached that round. There was so much initiative from Revenant eSports. They were so intentional about that push, which I love to see. And I think it's because both these teams realized how important that round was for each of them. But in the end, there was some confusion, albeit Orgless 5 still somehow pulling through. And no force buy coming in this time around, though, from Revenant eSports.
Now, Orgless 5 doing a bit of a force buy just to get maybe a little bit ahead. Revenant eSports, I think, just saving for that main buy next round. And Orgless just pushing the rear on the site. Logista's gonna get overwhelmed. All of a sudden, it's 5v2.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, they were trying
to do some damage, but
they were trying to hide all in that smoke and hoping for them to just push through. But Orgless 5 was definitely aware of that risk. And Jivix, he is feeling adventurous.
that man was a freaking flying eagle.
He really was.
Here we go.
9-5,
There's the
Tyler.
football coming in from Revenant. 9-5. Revenant needs to start picking it up. They've lost a bit of momentum. This is a crucial round for them and their economy.
That is the key word for me, momentum. And even though Team Revenant eSports did win that last round, Orgless 5 coming in so strong. There's a pause, so I'm going to switch back to us just for a bit, Tyler. But it has been an incredible start to this game, 9-5. Honestly, I thought Revenant eSports, and we talked about this, 100% win rate on bind for Orgless 5. So if they walk away with this game, the stats do seem to suggest, Tyler, that Orgless 5 might just be taking away that last spot in that grand finals, and they might be the ones facing up against True Rippers on Sunday.
Yeah, for everyone watching right now, if you have not yet subscribed to League Ego's YouTube channel to see all of our tournaments, all of our weekly live streams, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us as we get ready to go into this next round. It would do us such a great honor if you would subscribe to us and follow us as we give content to you guys. But here we go into this next round. Ember taking out Jivix really quickly. Wimp taking a few out.
Spike down B.
And once again pushing out of BRK. It's Revenant eSports and another player going down. Ember doing really well. A 3k for him in the end. It is just down to Stranger. He's down to 85 HP. He has a Spectre and no Spike.
Yeah, no spike. He's gonna have to pick it up. But Knight Rider and Logista just on top of it. Catch him coming.
He was.
Zip line.
Was he? He was.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That man just fell to the teleporter. He fell to his death right there.
That is the first victim of the ropes tonight that we have seen, ladies and gentlemen. But a good round from Revenant Esports. A full buy. Now, they lost 3 rifles though. They lost 3 rifles. So I'm interested to see what they do in terms of the buy. There you go. Scargod's going to be on the Spectre. Wimp's going to be on the Bulldog. And Ember's going to be on Light Shields. That is the price you pay for losing too many guns in that full buy. And on the side of Orgless 5, a clean full buy and a healthy looking economy.
Yep, healthy looking economy coming in from them, and Revenant forced again to buy a Bulldog, which is kind of the backup gun we've seen a few times throughout this quarterfinals and tournament. Rolling Thunder coming in, trying to push on the A side. They're going to take this opportunity, and ooh, the spike gets taken out on site. Oh, Wimp with the Bulldog, unable to get that distance advantage over the Vandal. Ember and Stranger exchanging some shots, not able to take each other out.
Standing.
Ember. And look at this, Revenant Esports getting some life. Stranger has the spike, making his way over to A quietly.
What a great response from Revenant Esports to Strangers Rolling Thunder. Ember coming in with the orbital strike almost instantly and not allowing that spike plant to go down. And right now, Revenant Esports, well, I was just going to say they have no idea where Stranger is, but they know exactly where he is now. He's going to get stuck again in this, is he?
Oh, there we go. He does find the trap, and now he has to make his way back.
Again.
Location
Oh
revealed.
my god, he doesn't know where the camera is. There it is. He gets tagged for the 3rd time. This is why I hate good Cypher players, Tyler. This is the reason right there.
Left.
And he's just gonna have to save. He's just gonna have to save.
Hopefully get a pick, but none of them are going to give him the opportunity. And there's another round for Revenant Esports. 9-7, finally a little bit of more life from them. Their economy is going to be looking good. Orgless going to be able to get some rifles here. Not going to be able to full buy the whole team though. But Revenant, this is going to be a strong match, a strong round for them, and surely they're going to make this 9-8.
They absolutely should. They're in a strong position to do that. I would be a little bit wary of Trick because he has the AWP available even though it's a save round, so they don't want to be rushing in front of him.
And he's activated already, so...
You want to play? Let's
play.
Let's play. There he is, Trick. Outside of B site for now, outside of B main.
There he is. That smoke gonna keep them from pushing in. And looks like they're going to be hoping to go A, but once again, Logista and his Cypher utility making it very tricky to push onto A. Some of his tripwire lineups are just great. And you would not expect those at all. Jivix trying to get a sense of who might be on this site and where they might be. Okay, he knows that Ember's there, or excuse me, he knows Knight Rider's there on the Sage. The smoke gives them an opportunity to transfer onto site and reposition, catch them off guard a bit.
I'm just noticing now that Jivix actually went for that Hero Vandal purchase. He's the only one who's got... Ooh, that's a nice nade.
One enemy remaining.
Knight Rider!
Down A.
Knight Rider with 3 and a flawless round coming in from Revenant Esports. That was not what Orgless 5 wanted to happen. They're going to be able to get some full buys in here, but Revenant Esports looking good after that round.
I think that is the morale boost they needed. That is definitely the confidence boost they needed, and there you go. I think a really well-timed, very well-timed from Orgless 5. They coming back to that word, Tyler, and I'm just going to bring us back up on screen right now. Momentum. There you go. You guessed it. The momentum was surely with Orgless 5 as we ended that first half.
Yeah.
And Revenant Esports have done such a good job of pulling it back. And they're like, hey, we're here to play as well. Okay? And here's 3 rounds that we're just going to take back from you.
Yeah, we knew that this was. I don't think either of us ever expected Orgless 5 just to keep it going when they were up 9-5. But both of these teams have a very good chance of winning this map. And honestly, one thing that I'm noticing is just that, like, it's weird not seeing a Jet on, well, no matter what map we were playing right now. It's just weird not seeing a Jet. And I think that's really coming into play with the way these teams push onto sites and protect their sites too.
I was playing a couple of games earlier today, and I was hearing the Jet mains, absolutely complain, and they're so disappointed with the new nerf. It's gonna take them a while to sort of deal with that discomfort, but nonetheless, round number 18 is what we are looking at now, and a full buy from both teams. Jivix coming in hot with a bulldog, a 5-man push outside of A main. Now Wimp is holding this off all by his lonesome. He does have Scargod for support, so he's not just by himself.
Yep, okay, now the rotation of Orgless 5 over to B side, see if they get a little bit more luck over there. And Ember and Knight Rider waiting for them.
Waiting to welcome them.
Man, it just seems like they know. It seems like they may have figured out what Orgless 5 is doing and how they want to attack. And look at the timing there. Surely they couldn't hear or see Orgless 5 walking up, but the moment they get close enough, some utility coming in, and now Orgless 5 is seemingly indecisive of where they want to go. They're gonna have to take care of this bomb buddy.
Ooh, that could be risky because Scargod thinks it's clear.
Yep.
Scargod
is not aware. Scargod with 1 HP, throwing some satchels. Oh wow, and the whole team of Orgless 5 coming in and taking out Scargod and Logista.
Watch it, fight it!
That was done really well. That was done so well, and Wimp doing his best to hold them off here. Gets one pick actually, and that could be huge. But just with the loss of one player, Revenant eSports now back to take the side. They've lost another. They've lost another. Ember takes out Stranger as well. Casper is on site. He's down to 20 HP. Jivix is down to 53 HP. This is not going to be an easy retake for them, because I do feel like they are so low on HP, and Ember did not check that corner.
And there it is. There's a round, and looks like that timeout will be coming in handy for Orgless 5. They must have figured something out in that time.
10-8, Orgless 5 putting a 10th round on the board, double digits for them. I'm looking at the scoreboard, and Jivix continues to be one of the standout players here. 17 and 13. Trick is doing well as well on 16 and 10. Scargod on the raise. I did hope to see him a little bit more penetrative, incisive, but he hasn't yet found himself. And we'll have to wait and see how well he will fare up in the remaining rounds. But once again, Orgless 5, a lot of presence outside of A. Full buys for both teams. This is a big round for Revenant. This is a big round for Revenant.
Revenant just keeping them out of A site. Knight Rider over on B. Ready for him. Surely he'll put a wall up at some point. Oh, gets Stranger, sees him, throws another slowing orb.
Something of a switch up here.
Orgless 5 just they have time. They don't have to make a decision now, but
they have commitment issues is what they have.
I think so. I hope none of their hope they don't hope on
Logista and Scargod doing really well.
His ultimate coming in, getting him the reveal.
Now, I don't know if they've got sight. Oh, Wimp, what a time to use his Rolling Thunder. He's denied the sight completely, and Orgless 5 now stranded inside of A main. Now, Casper does have the Viper spit out. Logista's on site though, isn't he? Both of them are on site.
Both of them are on site though, so Logista getting taken out. I'm not sure if they know where Wimp is.
They don't know where Wimp is.
Ooh. But he gets taken out not before he takes out one of his own.
And look at Ember's orbital strike. That is unbelievable. Revenant eSports so good here. So
Revenant
good.
with the team ace. That orbital strike was so clutch, coming right in the middle of Viper's ultimate, taking Viper out, revealing the area, and giving them the opportunity to take Salt Trick down. And man, 10-9 now.
Excellent use of the ultimates coming in from Revenant eSports, showing us how it's done. And first it was the Rolling Thunder from Wimp. The timing of that Rolling Thunder was absolutely spot on, denying any advantage to that Viper's pit. And of course, Ember coming in with that orbital strike. Oh, Orgless 5 getting stranded outside of A main with nowhere to go and ending up losing that round. Ooh, Jivix, that's an interesting move. There's nobody in A heaven. Knight Rider.
Where did that come from? Oh! Knight Rider, what are you doing? Jivix does get to take him out, but not before Knight Rider takes out 3 of their team. This is going to be tough. Oh, it's just up to Jivix. And he has a frenzy. Oh, no. Oh, it's just unfortunate. Just unfortunate.
You can't keep Revenant eSports quiet for too long. They will come back and show you what they're made of, as Orgless 5 are learning firsthand here. 10-10 on the scoreboard. It was a save round from Orgless 5, so you could say that there wasn't much to lose there, but the commitment of the Raze ultimate there, I'm just not sure if that was on, honestly. And as we head into another timeout, it's going to give us a chance, Tyler, to take a look at that scoreboard. Ember 19 and 14 looking really strong. Knight Rider 15 and 15. Knight Rider, can I just say, impact kills is what this man is about. He gets the kills when his team needs them. He might not be fragging his mind out and on top of that scoreboard necessarily, but he gets the kills when it is needed. Wimp and Ember have been so good with their ultimate use, their utilities. Logista has been an absolute nuisance to deal with on this A side. Overall, Revenant eSports looking like a really good package on Fracture. Orgless 5, somewhere I feel like they've lost that momentum that they really sort of began with and ended that first half with. And Revenant eSports taking advantage of that.
Yeah, what do you think Revenant eSports is talking about in this timeout here? It doesn't really seem like they needed one necessarily, but it looks like their coach is going to be talking to them a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're like, the momentum is definitely now with us, and we don't necessarily need to sort of push out of A, push out of B, play those aggressive moves, because we were down at halftime. We're all square now. It's just about keeping our heads and making the least mistakes at this point is what I think, because the margin for error in this lobby, ladies and gentlemen, believe me, is extremely low.
Having some patience coming in here once again. Different type of defense from Revenant eSports this round.
They've actually given up A main completely, and I'm not sure why, but Logista's moving towards B side. I think he now realizes. Oh, and there you go. He's seen the visuals in his camera. There's a lot of players in A main, and as soon as they see that, as soon as that information is given up, Orgless is now moving back towards B side, or at least making it look like they're moving back towards B side.
Here we go. It looks like they seem to just be wanting to get some information.
I think Casper here, he's faking. He's faking at B side.
Ooh, and he's going to be able to get out with 11 HP, just barely able to get out. And here comes Orgless onto A site. Oh man, Cypher traps just are probably so annoying.
Logista, man.
10 seconds
If I'm on
left.
Orgless, I'm annoyed by Logista right now.
100%, dude.
5 seconds
100%.
left.
I'm
And
just
the
watching
spike
this
is
and I'm
down.
like, I can feel the frustration. And Trick, will they allow him to save this op? I wonder.
Yes, they will. He takes out 2 after the round ends.
11th round
go.
on the scoreboard,
11th
ladies and
round.
gentlemen. Things are starting to heat up. This first map, we are already seeing the level of competition is extremely high. 10-11 now. Orgless not looking good. Economies are not looking great. And the number that's jumping out at me, Tyler, is that 29% win rate at Haven for Orgless 5. I am really worried about that. And even if they do lose this game, there is a likelihood that they might win bind just purely going by statistics, ladies and gentlemen, nothing else. I don't know if that Haven pick is gonna do too well for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Casper already getting taken out. This is, you know, comparatively, this is a eco round coming in for Orgless.
It is absolutely
not quite, but this is going to be real tough. Their best hope is Salt Trick on that op.
Teleport's gone.
He gives the op to Jivix.
Spike
Jivix
down.
gets taken out pretty much immediately. Ooh. Oh, it looks like Beast disconnected. That's unfortunate. Right in the middle of a round.
It's the last thing. It's the last thing Orgless 5 needed at this point. Trick now.
Especially 10-11.
He is completely stranded in sewers. He doesn't even have the
Help me
spike.
understand what the etiquette here is. Do
30
they continue
seconds
play? Does Revenant
Actually, they don't even know. They don't even know that
pull
he's
off?
disconnected. Because only we get to see that because we're observers.
Oh, it's not a global. Okay.
It's not a global this thing. They, at best, they might see that his ping is like stuck on 48 and can try to guess from that. And they're probably thinking, is it really worth saving a
10
sheriff?
seconds left.
Why would he even be doing that? But they will know as soon as this round is over. They would most likely know.
Last player
And
standing.
no, and Ember losing out the orb.
Salt Trick.
So, I mean, Trick losing the orb to Ember, and that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. This must be confusing, and I'm sure we're heading
Match
into
point.
a timeout, surely. But actually, Beast is not disconnected.
Let's
It
see.
doesn't look like he is disconnected.
It's. I think it still is. If you go to Beast's screen, then not able to see him. So
Right.
I would think we're going into a technical timeout, technical pause. Yep, here it is.
I'm gonna bring us back on screen just a bit, and definitely a technical time out here for Team Orgless
Yeah.
5, and a much needed one, if I'm being honest, Tyler. 10-12. Now at 7-5, you surely thought that the momentum was with them. They were feeling themselves. They were looking so strong, and all of a sudden, they're down match point.
Yeah, and that's just, it's unfortunate timing for their part. You know, most likely, and I hate to say this, most likely with that basically save round, that eco round, they were going to lose the round anyway. But it would have been nice to have a chance, you know, and it was just unfortunate timing with that disconnect. Obviously, Revenant eSports, like you said, they didn't know, so they just played it normal. And we're going to see if Orgless is going to be able to come back from this. Their eco still not looking great. Beast still disconnected. They're trying to figure it out. But Revenant just looking so strong. Full buy with the op. Sage with the op. Maybe Sage is the new Jet. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
and just
it's
while
unfortunate.
and if we could use this time, Tyler, there's a really interesting stat up on my screen right now. I just wanna take a look at this. So we talked about Orgless 5 having a 100% win rate on Bind, and we talked about them having a 29% win rate on Haven. But
Right.
Revenant has a 67% win rate, so they love Haven. They wouldn't mind taking this all the way down to the third map, and if it does go to map number 3, the odds are definitely stacked in the favor of Revenant eSports. But also, they don't do too badly at Bind themselves either. 50% win rate.
Yeah, 50% win rate on Bind. So it looks like Revenant eSports is seemingly more well-rounded as a team. A little bit more even on certain maps. Orgless, maybe they've just spent more time on Bind and they've just perfected that map. But Revenant, they would love to take this to a third match for sure.
And not to say that you know just because Orgless has 100% win rate on Bind, they
Right.
still need to show up and play. They still need to beat Revenant eSports consistently in those gunfights and outthink them, and that is not an easy thing to do at all.
No, not at all. It isn't. But looks like we're still running into some technical pause. Beast of Orgless 5 still having some connection issues.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. We are, by the way, Tyler, we are experiencing like a ridiculous heat wave in India, so I wouldn't be surprised if Beast is experiencing that in Lahore as well. in over at Pakistan. But it has been incredible. There have been scheduled, this is a phrase that in kids in India grew up with. It's called load shedding. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but essentially, it's when there's a shortage of electricity. They have like scheduled blackouts.
Yeah.
And it's entirely possible that we are dealing with one of those. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, this is the semi-final of the League Ego Oasis Cup, the first ever of its kind.
Semi-final.
And we already have the first finalist confirmed. It is Team True Rippers who have secured that final, their berth in that final, and it is between one of these two teams today. Who's going to be facing off against them. We are also going to be having a third place match on Saturday, so make sure you guys tune in for that. That is going to be up against the team that comes up short in this game versus the team that is going to be that lost in that first semi-final. And some good news, it does look like we should get going soon. Do you think Orgless 5 has it in them?
I think now that actually we've had this long of a pause, maybe some of that momentum has been lost by Revenant. This is why teams take timeouts to try and ice. In football, in American football, you take a timeout when the team's about to kick a field goal because you want to what's called ice the kicker. And what that means is you want his leg not to be as ready to kick the ball because he's been warming up with his leg, and if you call a timeout right before he kicks the ball, it kind of throws off his mentality and you ice the kicker. So I'm thinking it's possible that they iced him here. We'll see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are all set to get going, and this is going to be match point for Revenant eSports. In fact, they have back-to-back match points, and Orgless 5 really need to figure this one out. And Jivix makes no apology about jumping straight into B heaven. Knight Rider off to a great start, getting a couple of picks. Stranger will get the trade onto Wimp. And now a 2 versus 3 situation. Knight Rider has the res as well available for him.
Spike planted.
This is an interesting retake now. Knight Rider, does he go for the res? Does he go for the res here? Logista is coming up in arcade. He doesn't look up in time and will get taken down. That will allow Trick.
Last player standing.
And Orgless 5 have actually pulled it off, and Beast coming back from that timeout with a 4K to secure that round for Orgless 5. And what do you know, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see another round, and Revenant eSports will have one more chance to finish off this game before we move to overtime. But Orgless 5 will be doing everything in their power to make sure that they don't allow that to happen. 12-11 on the scoreboard. I don't want to jinx it, ladies and gentlemen, but are we going to see another overtime? Ooh, Trick has come with the operator, gets the first pick onto Logista, and that is huge as Ember will take the trade onto Jivix. Casper will get that trade as well, and now Scargod decides to stay on site. He wants to fight this. He wants to fight this. Wimp's Aftershock will slow them momentarily, but in comes the Cosmic Divide. How much damage can Scargod do here? Not much, as Beast will take him down, and it is now a 2 versus 4 retake. This just might be another overtime. Casper takes down Wimp as well. It is down just to Knight Rider. Surely he's not going to be taking down all of them. And Tyler, this is the overtime that we were talking about. Take a look at this.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Yeah, these teams are too good not to go into overtime.
Unbelievable. Trick, and just a Trick has stayed with that op purchase, and it has absolutely paid off. Logista peeking out of Dish, and they've been doing it. Revenant eSports have been doing that consistently. They've come out aggressively, trying to take control of main. They're trying to take control of Dish, and it has worked for them so far. But unfortunately, in that round, Trick with the op investment making it work for his team. And take a look at this in overtime once again. Trick has gone with the op again, Tyler.
I feel like Trick has had the op since the beginning of this game. So he is just feeling good and feeling comfortable with this. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I have to go. So Grizzly is going to take very good care of you. Grizzly, thank you for having me.
Absolutely,
Appreciate
man.
you.
Thank you so much
Continue
for
to kill it.
thank you so much for being here, and you have a good rest of the
I
day.
hope this doesn't go too long, so you don't have to be by yourself doing this.
It's all good. It's all good. And there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big round for Orgless 5. Casper will get the first pick onto Scargod, but Knight Rider will be there for the trade. Now Trick's op needs to pay off here. Beast gets another pick onto Ember. Ooh, Jivix there, a little premature with those shots. And Trick has been spotted out.
Teleport's broken.
Stranger goes down as well. It's a 2v3 retake
Spike
now.
planted.
Beast.
You will not kill my ally.
Let's make that
Right there.
2v4. Scargod will get the res. Surely this
Right
retake
there.
is too much. It is too much for them to do. Surely.
One enemy.
Logister will take down Beast. Trick will get Scargod, but Wimp is there for the trade. And the first round of overtime will go the way of Revenant eSports. A strong start.
sides.
And now another
Match
match point for Revenant eSports. They will be looking to put this one away for sure. And Trick once again with that op purchase. You know he's going to consistently do it. 22 and 14. He's looking so good on the side of Revenant eSports. Ember 23 and 19 looking strong. Knight Rider coming to life halfway through this map has looked so strong as well. And 12-13 match point. Revenant eSports is now or never. Knight Rider here getting the information about Orgless 5's move in. Jivix goes down. Wimp gets that first pick.
One enemy remaining.
And Revenant eSports have absolutely mowed down every single player except Beast. He is the only player alive now for Orgless 5 in a 1v5 situation. He has 150 HP on him. But ladies and gentlemen, this is looking like the GG. In fact, someone's already called the GG in the chat. Now, you don't like to see that, but it is what it is. Revenant eSports, they have looked so strong, and despite not capitalizing on those 2 match points earlier on, they've done what they needed to do in overtime. And with that flawless victory, Revenant eSports have pulled it together and have taken away the first map. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, this is a best of 3 and it is only going to heat up more from here. We had Fracture and Revenant eSports have come out on top, going to overtime 14-12, and we're going to be headed over next to Bind, and if there is another tiebreaker needed, we'll be heading over to Haven for that third map. We talked about the statistics. The stats do seem to indicate that Orgless 5 absolutely love playing on Bind. They have 100% win rate on Valor.gg in Bind. So I'm interested to see how they stack up against Revenant. And on the other hand, Haven hasn't been a stronger map for them. So Revenant eSports surely are more comfortable playing that map. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens in this next map. The scoreboard, folks, looks absolutely beautiful for Revenant eSports. Knight Rider on top. He absolutely came to life, didn't he, in the second half. 23 and 17, 3 first bloods looked strong. Ember 23 and 19 with 4 first bloods. And, you know, we can talk all we want about how Scargod didn't get the frags, but I think he did what he needed for his team, you know, bravely pushing in every single time, fearlessly, not worried about giving up his life, and making sure that his teammates get the trade on him. And in the end, it worked out for them. Revenant eSports coming out on top 12-14. We're going to jump into a quick break, but don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with map number 2 on the other side. It's going to be Bind and then Haven, and I'll see you on the other side.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are done and dusted with map number 1 of the semi-final of the League Ego Oasis Cup, the first edition of its kind. Revenant eSports picking up Fracture, and we are now headed over to Bind, which is going to be an absolute banger of a game. Looks like we are all set more or less to get going. But just before we do that, and as the players get ready, I do want to show you what me and Tyler were talking about repeatedly so far. We talked about how Orgless has a 100% win rate on Bind, but we also talked about how they have a 29% win rate only on Haven. And as opposed to that, Revenant eSports here, he's got 67%. They've got a 67% win rate on Haven. So this does suggest, ladies and gentlemen, that if Orgless 5 does manage to win Bind, going to Haven for that tiebreaker, the odds are certainly looking to favor Team Revenant eSports purely based off of that. So we're gonna have to wait and see how things pan out. And if we can also look at the stats of Orgless 5, and there you have it, 100% win rate, ladies and gentlemen, on Bind. But take a look at that, 29% win rate on Haven, and that is what really worries me. And looks like it is time to get going, and let's take a look at that agent select, ladies and gentlemen. On Bind, Wimp is going to be on the Sky. Ember's going to stick with the Brimstone pick. It does seem to suit him. Knight Rider on the Chamber, looking strong. Logista moving over to the Breach. So an interesting double initiator pick composition. And Scargod once again on that Neon. We saw him on the Neon in Split in the quarterfinals of this tournament, and he was pretty good there. And on the side of Orgless 5, Casper changing roles here, has gone over to the Sova, it does appear. Beast will stick with the Astra pick as he so often does. Trick does appear to be hovering over Chamber as we speak, and not surprised by that pick at all. Stranger will stick with the Breach, and Javix on the Race. So what's actually changed here is that I think Casper was playing a Viper, and they were playing a double controller composition in over at Fracture. So that's the only change from their side. On the side of Revenant eSports, Wimp, who was on the Breach, has switched over to the Sky, and Logista, who was on the Cypher, has moved over to the Breach. Knight Rider, who was on the Sage, has moved over to the Chamber, and Scargod, who was playing Raze, is going to be on the Neon. Super excited for this, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just tuning in, we are in the middle of a best of 3, and this is the semi-final. The winner of this game faces off against True Rippers on Sunday for that grand final, and for the big prize pool, 1.5 lakh rupees is what is at stake here. And if you haven't yet followed our socials, please be sure to do so. We are an esports org. We just want to do whatever we can to help the community in India. We're organizing tournaments. We want to give young athletes, esports athletes and aspiring athletes a chance to compete against the very best, and that is exactly what we are getting when we have teams of this quality playing in this tournament. So make sure to follow our Discord, make sure to follow our Instagram, join our Discord server as well, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet done it. Please be sure to do that. We are also running a giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. I will talk about that in a bit, as we are all set to get going. Looks like an A-sided push coming in for Orgless 5, who will be attacking first this time around. And a Trick with a couple of kills with that Sheriff. Oh my gosh, this was absolutely brutal here from Orgless 5. A little bit of an overcommitment on the side of Revenant eSports in A-Shot. They like to do this. We've seen them do it consistently. They like to take control of A main and not really allow for much room. This time around, however, they have paid for it dearly. It is down just to Wimp in a 1 versus 5 situation. And he's actually going all the way over to spawn to try and throw these players off. Jivix will get taken down here. The stun will slow him. Oh my goodness, Wimp! That could have been suicidal. I don't know how much time they have before the spike explosion, but that could have been suicidal. And Orgless 5 surely breathing a sigh of relief here. In the end, Wimp does get taken down, but that was really close, ladies and gentlemen. The first round on the scoreboard registered for Orgless 5, barely so. Revenant eSports will be looking at an eco by this time around. No guns whatsoever.
Right,
and on the side of Orgless 5, 5 Spectres, 4 full shields. And looks like once again they do want to take control of A shot. This time around, Knight Rider in a better position and gets a nice little pick. Jivix had the worst case of timing on him. Knight Rider now rotating around to U-Hall. Can he get a second pick here? This could be huge.
Teleport's ready.
And Beast here taking down 2 players. Ember and Logista both getting taken down. Stranger will take down Scargod as well. Knight Rider will get another pick. Eventually gets traded. And once again, it is just down to Wimp. And if you lose 4 players at the end of the pistol round, it's not as expensive as losing 4 players at the end of the second round. When you've come in with so many Spectre purchases, that investment is big. Surely Orgless 5 don't want to lose even a single Spectre after this. Wimp here using his flash to great effect, taking control of U-Hall, now falling back. And Stranger had a feeling, and he will take him down. The second round on the board for Orgless 5, 2-0 on the scoreboard. And they managed to save 3 of those Spectres going into this next round. So I'm interested to see what Trick and Jivix will do in terms of their purchases. Maybe just a couple of Sheriffs. But surely a bonus round of sorts for Orgless 5, but on the side of Revenant eSports, this is going to be a full buy, and they should be feeling strong about holding on to this round. Wimp has the Seekers as an option as well, so we might see that at some point. But this time around, Orgless 5, this is looking like a 5-man push towards B long. Knight Rider will take down the swerving Jivix in the air and able to trade himself out as well, as Stranger gets the trade though onto Wimp. Knight Rider will get the return trade onto Stranger. Logista's Aftershock will ensure that Orgless 5 are pushed back even further. Beast will get a pick onto Logista. That is big. Scargod doing well here to get a return trade. Ooh, Knight Rider. I don't know if that was the move there now. Orgless 5 have a chance to pick up the Phantoms here. Quick double TP. Surely that's the play. Take a look at Ember. He senses it. He's actually falling back.
Last player standing.
And Casper gets Scargod as well. And Revenant eSports. What's going on here?
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, Ember will
Spike
take
down
down
B.
Beast. And now the spike is dropped. It's Casper and Ember. Ember will pull it back just about, but at what cost, ladies and gentlemen? They've lost 4 rifles. Revenant eSports, surely, even though they'll come out with that round, they will be feeling a little bit hard done by that. They've lost so many rifles, and the ecos are not looking fantastic, I'll tell you that much. Knight Rider should be able to throw away his gun to a teammate and perhaps play on the operator. But it looks like they're actually going with that buy for now. A Spectre purchase for Scargod. And on the side of Orgless, they are looking set with a 5-man rifle purchase. And the economy is looking pretty good. Looks like switching over to default now is Orgless 5. 2 players over at A. We've got Stranger holding the entrance of A shot. And the last 2 players, Jivix and Casper, outside of B. Searching for picks. Knight Rider here holding this off angle outside of A shot and might just catch one of these players returning to A shot from shower. This could be dangerous. Now he needs to be careful because Jivix is holding the other angle. Knight Rider, this is a an advanced position for him to be peeking at because he has no cover from the other side of A shot. And Casper with a good move here, getting that drone out. Oh, Jivix. He was trying to catch Jivix off guard as the drone came, but Jivix was quick enough, and out comes the rolling thunder. I believe it was from Stranger. It hasn't given them much control over sight.
30 seconds left.
The picks coming in quick and fast. Beast will take down a player. Wimp gets the trade.
You are divided.
Scargod does well here to steal a kill out before this retake begins. And now a 3 versus 2 retake is on the cards. Strangers in
Last
showers.
player standing.
He is the only player alive as Wimp takes down Casper. And Wimp will take down Stranger. A 3k coming in and a good round from Revenant eSports. Despite somewhat of a shaky start, will pull back round number 2. It's all square, ladies and gentlemen. 2-2 on the scoreboard. And Orgless 5, despite the good start, have lost 2 rounds back to back. And now looks like they will be the ones coming in with an eco purchase. Alright, round number 5. Here we go. Orgless 5 coming in with somewhat of a half buy here. Again outside of a shot. No players committed towards B side at all. Logista there. Logista's playing with fire here. He is playing with fire. He's a bit late to fall back and somehow survives. Despite all of that utility use. And Ember will get Jivix with the orbital strike, and that is an interesting use of that ultimate. I don't know if they read the buy correctly.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
Orgless losing players quick and fast, though. It is down just to Beast. He's got a Sheriff in his hands. And Revenant eSports will register a flawless victory in round number 5. 3-2 on the scoreboard. And we talked about the keyword momentum. It is coming up again. Setting the tone for this first half is Revenant eSports.
I gotta visit the Astral to play some stars.
Even though they did lose Pistol and the subsequent round, Revenant eSports coming back really well. And Wimp looking good once again on the sky. This time around Knight Rider on the chamber 6 and 4. Beast looking like he has found his aim, or so to speak. Ooh, Jivix satcheling in and getting a pick onto Scargod. This could be huge. Jivix has a showstopper as well. Stranger gets the second pick. Ember goes down. The site is now opened up completely. Jivix gets a third. And a third now actually. It's down just to Knight Rider. He is coming on the flank in towards Shawa. I don't know what they expected. But surely a 1 versus 5. Surely he's not going to be able to do this.
Pardon, monsieur.
But that's a good start. Gets one. Casper goes down. Ooh, and Trick here with that wallbang headshot taking down Knight Rider. And a third round in the bag for Orgless 5. This is such an even contest, ladies and gentlemen. Even that first map going to overtime and Revenant eSports prevailing 14-12 at the end of it. And by the looks of it, we're going to see a very similar matchup here on Bind as well. A quick reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a map that Orgless 5 enjoys playing. They have a very high win rate, 100% win rate, at least based on the stats on valor.gg. And not so much... it's not a map that Revenant eSports necessarily thrives on. Ooh, Trick here gets that first pick as Scargod goes down, and surely this will be the end for Ember as well. And Knight Rider with the AWP. There is a decision to be made here.
Spike planted.
If Revenant eSports lose this round, this is a huge loss financially, economically. Not financially. Ooh, Knight Rider gets a nice pick. Those were a nice couple of flashes. Wimp gets a pick onto Beast as well. This is now a 3v3 retake all of a sudden. Oh dear. Jivix taking down both those players. And now Knight Rider running with this op, running away. Will they let him save it?
I have them.
And they expect him to be over at B side, but actually Knight Rider is quite content with just sitting on spawn. He's going to be up against Casper in just a second. Got a few seconds here to survive. Oh, Casper with the widest peak I've ever seen. Knight Rider getting taken down. The AWP goes down. Did they actually save the AWP? I'm not quite sure. I'm actually not sure if they saved the AWP.
Right there.
And looks like there will be a timeout in effect. And a timeout that has been called by Revenant eSports. So maybe they just want to slow things down before they lose control of this map completely. But in terms of economy, I don't think they're too damaged. They should still be able to afford full buys in that next round. Orgless 5 though, the confidence with which they made that push in that previous round is a little bit scary. And maybe that's just what Revenant eSports want to address at this point. Momentum, the key word. We did feel like the first 2 rounds went towards Orgless 5. Revenant coming back strong in the next 3. And now once again, Orgless 5 picking up 2 on the trot. It's a KG match and it's going to go down to the wire. You can see it. You can feel it. This is a match that is worthy of the semi-finals tag in our League Ego Oasis Cup, the first ever edition. And remember folks, these guys are fighting for a spot in that finals. The winner of this game will be facing off against True Rippers in that grand final on Sunday. The prize pool is a 1.5 lakh rupee prize pool, so the stakes are reasonably high. And both these teams surely will be keen to get their hands on that prize money. I think this is the first time this whole match I'm seeing Orgless 5 come in towards this B side. Ember gets the first pick, but Jivix is there to make the trade happen. And looks like the site is more or less available. Wimp needs to be careful here. He gets caught out with that flash in his hands. A second pick going down for Revenant eSports. And looks like they do have firm control of site. The plant will go down. And the rolling thunder being committed by Logista. There's nobody on site though, and Jivix isn't even affected by it. It is down just to the last player, and Knight Rider once again will be trying to save. Well, it's actually not an AWP. He actually has the ultimate. I don't know. Maybe just save the Vandal perhaps. That's what he's got on his mind. It's going to be a tall order. He's 5 HP, and we saw what happened to him the last time he tried to save. But Orgless 5 coming in strong once again. That early pick in B long really proving to be too much for them to deal with. And this time the white peak isn't going to work for Casper, because Knight Rider was surely expecting that. 5-3, ladies and gentlemen, on the scoreboard. Orgless 5 starting to show us why they have that 100% win rate on bind. They're looking so comfortable. There's no questions about rotation. There's no questions about playing it slow. They look at a side, they commit to it, and they go ahead and take it. And Revenant eSports coming up short a couple of rounds back to back now. 3 rounds, in fact, on the trot. They have lost. Knight Rider with the saved AWP will continue on, but the rest of the team is coming in with half buys. Take a look at Jivix. This man, he is so advanced once again. Getting taken down though by Ember. Will get a trade out. Trick is there to get the trade. Wimp is going to fall back, and a B-side commitment. As we see it, Knight Rider has come onto site, and I think Casper just about sees that in his drone. Knight Rider gets a pick as well, and the last 2 players, they are both stunned by this rolling thunder. Surely now is the time to push and finish. And Orgless 5 continuing to stamp their authority on this map. A 6th round on the board for them already. And it was an eco round coming in for Revenant eSports, but that was some There was some cold aggression from Orgless 5 in making it look a little bit easy. Looks like they want to switch back to A site now. 6-3 on the scoreboard. Jivix has been strong, looking good today. 10 and 7. Knight Rider looking good on the side of Revenant eSports. 11 and 7 for him. Round number 10. Here we go.
Gotta go. Take this. Gotta go.
Scargod's initial push here has been rejected. It's been denied. He has to fall back. He's down to 66 HP. And Revenant eSports starting to look like they're doing things to gain control early. And that's been their game plan right from the very beginning. And it did seem to pay off, at least in Fracture for them, but it hasn't so far for them in Bind. And maybe they just need to play it a little bit slower, a little bit more passive than what we've seen from them so far. Falling back for now, however, quite happy to perhaps give away the site to Orgless 5. Scargod gets tagged in. That Owl drone has to fall back now. And Jivix is already on site. He's got full control. Knight Rider will get a pick though onto Beast. The op is still alive. But Trick is watching with the op as well. And he knew Knight Rider was going to peek that heaven. And he had the op himself. And he gets taken down.
Here.
Scargod getting spotted out by Trick. Ember trying to catch Trick here. Off guard, and Stranger will pick up both Logista and Wimp. It is down just to Scargod. 100 HP on him. He does have a Vandal. A 1 versus 4 situation.
Go away.
Casper here trying to push Scargod in. Shower gets taken down by Jivix. He was down to 10 HP, but that headshot connected. And that's all that mattered in the end. 7th round on the board for Orgless 5. This is a great start to the first half, and surely you have to think that the momentum is on their side.
Should I play some stars in this reality? Midasi, thanks. You are divided.
And this is going to be a half buy coming in from Revenant eSports. Knight Rider still has the Phantom. I think he's actually forced the Phantom. Interesting there. Oh. That was so interesting. Picks falling quick and fast. What's Jivix's showstopper that did not connect with anyone? I think it was. It's down just to Wimp. And Logista, but Logista will get taken down. Wimp is all alone by himself. Use that flash to great effect to make his way into U-Haul. But they read it and they took him down. And that will be round number 8 for Orgless 5. 8-3 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. We are in to the last round of this first half on Bind. And so far, at least, Orgless 5 have looked like the stronger team on Bind, as the data seemed to suggest. They love playing this map, 100% win rate. And looking really strong so far. At least Revenant eSports will manage to force the buy for this final round. Knight Rider will come in with just a Bulldog though, so he needs to make that work. He looked really comfortable with the Bulldog on Fracture, I'll tell you that much. And that drone is going to give them enough information that there will be the commitment of the Rolling Thunder. Scargod gets a pick onto Jivix though, and Beast will be there to get the trade. Oh, Logista, a nice little pick and a Rolling Thunder of his own. This is going to be huge. How many people can he catch out here? He does catch out Casper. It is down just to Trick. Surely it's too much for him to do. He's got the op in his hands though. Logista is holding down the flank in case he thinks of a move, and that flash will confirm to Revenant eSports. The trick is still on a shot. The spike is dropped outside of shower, so he has no control over it. He's managed to work his way
30
in
seconds left.
through towards U-Hall. He needs to look like... Oh! Surely you got to clear that left corner before you come out, and Revenant eSports will do enough
Switching
to
sides.
pull back that 4th round and an 8-4 scoreline. It's not the best scoreline in the world for them at the end of halftime, but it is what it is, and it looks like 8 rounds in the bag for Orgless 5. Surely you have to think that they're feeling confident. You feel like they will be able to put this one away. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 3, and we are bang in the center of it. The stats like we talked about on Haven, which is the tiebreaker for today, it is a map that Revenant eSports love to play, and we've seen them play Haven several times as well, and it might just be something that Orgless 5 will have to deal with. Folks, if you are just tuning in, this is a best of 3 of
Right there.
the semi-finals of the League Ego Oasis Cup Season 1,
Right
the first
there.
ever edition. The prize pool is 1.5 lakh rupees. Folks, can I just ask you to like the stream, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet
Right
done it,
there.
follow us on Instagram, follow me on Instagram.
About
You
there.
can find all our socials in the description below. We are an esports org. We organize tournaments for tier 1 Valorant teams in South Asia. Of course, we're seeing a whole bunch of players from Pakistan today as well, and we just want to do whatever we can to help the
Taking that
ecosystem
back.
grow. And so please be sure to follow us, support us. It's a good cause, it's worth supporting, and hopefully we'll see a lot more talent, esports talent, coming out from India in the coming years. It has been so delightful actually to see what's been happening lately. We are also running a giveaway, and this is something that I forgot to talk about. We actually gave away a battle pass yesterday, and if you guys have seen the new battle pass that has just been released fresh off the shelves just today, you have a chance to win it. That's what I want to talk about. All you got to do is follow us on Instagram, join our Discord server, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and there is a post on Instagram where you need to sort of tag 5 of your friends, and if you can do that, then you might just win a battle pass. We pick a new winner every single week and we announce it on stream. So it's either me or Tyler. You saw Tyler a little bit earlier on. He streams a whole bunch of fun games on YouTube every week on Wednesdays or Thursdays, depends on when he's free. He's been streaming Elden Ring lately, a lot of Elden Ring. It's been a lot of fun watching him do that, and I'm sure a whole bunch of you guys in the chat watching are joining to watch those as well. So that's why we give with the battle pass. So if he's not doing it, then it would be me. I'd be streaming Valorant. I love playing Valorant. I love this game. Used to play CS:GO a little bit, not too much, but really excited about Valorant. And you can come and watch me play. I sometimes play with friends. I sometimes play with my daughter. That's a lot of fun. And we actually give away a battle pass every week, so make sure to follow all our socials. Make sure that you are being eligible to win that battle pass, and who knows, one of these days it just might be you. And with that, folks, let's just get back to the game. Looks like the match has begun.
Teleport's broken.
Look at this push here. No. Oh, Salt Trick missing too many. Gets 2 in the end though, doing really well. And the first round, the pistol round, starting off good is Revenant eSports. They really brought that momentum, didn't they? They really brought that speed, and Logista will take down Beast as well. It is down just to Casper. He's managed to bring down Logista to very low HP, but jumping through that aftershock, I don't know if that was the move. Leaves him with just 11 HP, and Revenant eSports will wrap up that pistol round, a much needed pistol round. They had to win that one. 5-8 on the scoreboard. Surely they'll be coming in with full buys here. (9-3) curse avoidance. Bilal, that's hilarious, man. I mean, it has just gone on to become an urban myth, hasn't it? The 9-3 curse. It happens too often to deny that it's true. I'll agree with you on that.
That's a good spot. This should do.
Hunt. Hawk out. Blinded. Our spike carrier's down.
Spike down B.
All right, it looks like
Player standing.
Revenant eSports have managed to take control of B side here. They've lost a couple of Spectres in the process. Is down just to Trick here. He's coming in with his Sheriff. Seems to be all charged up. Alright guys, let me know what you guys think in the chat. There is a poll. Which of these teams is going to go to the finals? Which of these teams will be facing off against True Rippers in that grand finals and stands a chance to have a big bite of that 1.5 lakh rupee prize pool? Knight Rider will eventually catch Salt Trick, and with 3 Spectres in hand, Revenant Esports will wrap up a 6th round. That was a good win for them. Should be in a good position here to put in a strong bonus round. Full buys on the side of Orgless 5. This is a big round for them.
That worked.
This is a big round for Orgless 5, and they don't want to lose this round, because if they do lose this round, it would be offering Revenant Esports a chance to be back in this game, and they're definitely feeling good about the way they started the second half.
Hawk out. Time to hunt.
Not much information from that Sky utility in shower. Looks like Revenant is... The spike is certainly on B side, and outside of Wimp, who is alone on A side, the rest of Revenant is actually looking quite keen to push in towards this B side now. Scargod leading the charge. He's only got a Spectre. Beast with that gravity, with that pull here, doing really well to slow this push down. It's going to allow Orgless 5 coming in, and Beast here spraying through that smoke will get a couple of picks. Jivix with that pincer blow will get the last kill onto Logista, and a flawless round in the bag for Orgless 5. And there you go. It was an important round for them to win. It was a full buy from them. They've lost 0 weapons. So Revenant Esports' bonus round not going quite the way they would have hoped for. And they will be able to afford full buys. So that's not an issue for them whatsoever. But the game is super balanced. The economy is certainly looking in the favor of Orgless 5, as you guys can see on your screen right now. 15 rounds done. Round number 16. And Revenant Esports, what have you got for us?
A gift. They found my trap.
The stakes are high, folks. The stakes are high, and that is why we are seeing Revenant Esports starting off slow. But take a look at this. Jivix and Trick getting a couple of picks back, and Wimp and Scargod actually making their way in through showers. Gets one pick.
Last player standing.
Oh, Casper from heaven. Casper from heaven will take down Scargod, and Trick will peek Wimp as well. And another round in the bag for Orgless 5. Revenant Esports surely will be looking at doing at going in for an eco by this particular round. So Orgless 5 living up to the billing, aren't they? They're living up to the stats that we looked at earlier on, folks. 100% win rate on bind. That is not a joke. That is not a joke, playing in this tier, playing in this league against players of this quality. But Orgless 5 looks like they've got their strats all set up. They look so comfortable on bind. And I sure hope they feel similarly comfortable in Haven, because the stats do seem to suggest that Revenant Esports are the team to favor in Haven. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the next map for us in this best of 3. We are in the middle of this best of 3. Revenant eSports picked up that first map in Fracture. It was a close one, 14-12. It went to overtime. And Orgless 5 this time around, certainly with the upper hand. But it's not over until it's over. I don't want to write off Revenant eSports. Remember, every time a comeback needs to happen, it usually begins with a thrifty round. And when a team wins a thrifty round, it gives them such a shot in the arm. Not to mention, it really demoralizes the opposition, and that could be exactly what Revenant eSports need as we are getting all set to begin round number 17. 10-6 on the scoreboard. Orgless 5 looking good and strong. Economy is looking good. Revenant eSports with an eco buy. Couple of sheriffs, one ghost.
You want to play? Let's play.
And a couple of and a frenzy actually, and looks like Chambers' ult has been activated. Oh, Trick here doing well to get the first pick onto Scar God, but Knight Rider with the AWP will peek and get the pick onto Trick. Onto Scar God, my apologies. Stranger's flash will force them to push back just a little bit.
Blocking vision. Need that back. Recovering it.
And looks like the move now is towards A site. Logista here with the AWP. My apologies, Knight Rider here with the AWP. This could be big. And what's happening here? Stranger's actually moving back. I think Orgless 5 is reading this as a fake, if I'm not mistaken. And Jivix has decided to stay on site, and that has worked well. He picks up 2. It is down just to Knight Rider.
One enemy remaining.
And Ember, who gets taken down. Knight Rider is already deep onto site. Oh. He was hiding in the smokes, but Jivix eventually will catch him out on 11th round on the scoreboard. And now Revenant eSports, surely with the backs to the wall, will be forced into a full buy. I mean, they have to go for the buy. They have to win this round, because if they don't, I'm afraid that might just be the GG for them on this matchup. But take nothing away from Orgless 5, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I want to talk about. Jivix has been so good today on the race, 17 and 11. Trick has been good throughout this match so far. Even on Fracture has looked so good for the team. Revenant eSports have looked sharp as well in Fracture. On Bind, a little bit slow to start. Knight Rider has felt like one of the standout players today, at least so far. 17 and 14 for him, as once again Revenant eSports showing a lot of presence in A. It is once again Wimp doing it pretty much all by himself, but his team is actually moving in towards B side with the spike. So this seems to be the play from Revenant each and every time. Quite happy to fall back now though. Knight Rider is down to 12 HP, and Scar God will get taken down at B long. Oh dear, Jivix with the rolling thunder, the showstopper, my apologies.
One enemy remaining.
A stranger will clean things up here for Orgless 5. It is down just to Ember. Ember gets 1, Ember gets 2. And hang on, this isn't over yet. Ember's got 150 HP. He needs to be worried. He needs to be worried about Casper though. He has no idea where Casper is. He has no idea where Casper is, and Ember was so close to clutching that. Revenant eSports lose another 12-6 on the scoreboard. It is match point, ladies and gentlemen, for Orgless 5. And take a look at the economy of Revenant eSports. That is not looking good for them. This is not looking good for them. They'll need to scrape through somehow and buy whatever they can. Wimp has the Seekers ready. They just haven't been able to find that incisive push onto either side here on Bind. And Orgless 5 really look really well disciplined and organized in their strats, and it is showing in that scoreline. 12-6 on the scoreboard. Match point, Orgless 5.
All set up.
I've got your trail.
So close. Nobody's ready.
think Revenant eSports, this by far has been one of the most decisive rounds I've seen from them. Taking control of U-Hall. They will lose one though. But surely this is a round that they should be able to take away. Beast is still on site. Oh, Beast here committing to that spray, but it was expensive because Ember will take him down and Knight Rider will pick him up. Will pick up the last kill onto Trick. Can they save the op? I wonder if Knight Rider is even interested. Looks like he is not. And a half by Revenant eSports were able to pull back. Surely that makes you think they've got what it takes to come back all the way in this match. 12-7 on the scoreboard. Economy is still not looking great for Revenant. Still not looking great, you have to say. It's not looking the best. And Orgless 5 on the other hand looking quite comfortable, at least for another round after this one. And Revenant eSports, they need to find a few more rounds like that one.
Hawk out. Time to hunt.
Once again, Revenant getting the first pick. This time it is Scargod actually outside of B long here. That is a big pick because it leaves Casper all alone on site. I don't know if Revenant is aware of this. Now Knight Rider stayed behind. It's gonna wait for that lurk. And elsewhere, Revenant is making their way in towards A shot, but Wimper is actually TP'd out of there. Scargod will persevere. He's got his ultimate. Oh, this is a really
Down A.
3 quick picks here coming in. And now Scargod is in a tough situation, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the round in the bag for Orgless 5, and it is just as we predicted and just as the stats told us. 100% win rate on Bind, you don't get that easily, and Orgless 5 have showed us tonight why they have that 100% win rate. They looked so organized from the very beginning. Revenant eSports, such a strong team, such a good lineup. I thought agent compositions were on point. I thought their strats were on point. But Orgless 5 tonight was just unstoppable. 13-7. It wasn't as close as Fracture was, I'll tell you that much. And this means, ladies and gentlemen, we are headed over to the tiebreaker. If you're just tuning in, this is the semi-final of the League Ego Oasis Cup, the first edition. The winner of this game is headed to the grand finals and will be facing off against True Rippers. And will have a chance to have a go at that 1.5 lakh rupee prize pool. The map pool for today was Fracture, Bind and Haven, and so far we are all squared up at 1 each, and we are heading over to Haven. There's some interesting stats that I do want to talk about, but just before we do that, we will be going into a break. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with live action straight after this.
Satchel out. Satchel out. Deleted.
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Folks, what a game it has been so far. What a couple of maps we've seen. What skill on display. Absolutely love the spirit of competition. Revenant eSports taking away Fracture in that first map. In that second map, Orgless 5, I mean, that was amazing from them on Bind. Really living up to the expectations that we had from them on Bind. And folks, we are headed into a tiebreaker. I've said this many times tonight, I'm going to say it again. This is the semi-finals. The winner of this match, the winner of this map is going to be facing off against True Rippers in the grand finals of the League Ego Oasis Cup, the first edition, on Sunday. And we'll get a chance to have a grab at that 1.5 lakh rupee prize pool. The stakes are high. It's all down to this last map. And guess where we're headed? We are headed into Haven. And just before, we were talking about this particular stat about Orgless 5 having 100% win rate on Bind, and how that seems to, make them feel comfortable about losing on Fracture. Having said that, though, I want to show you guys that Revenant eSports actually have a 67% win rate on Haven, which is our tiebreaker tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 67% win rate on Haven, and you might think that hey, it's not 100%, right? It's not 100%. Orgless had 100% win rate on Bind, so you could back them for taking that map away. But Revenant eSports is only 67%. You could argue that, but take a look at this. Take a look at Orgless 5's win rate on Haven, 29%. And if you're an Orgless 5 fan right now, this is not looking great for you guys, and I'm so sorry to be the bearer of this bad news. But if I was a betting man, and if I was looking at this last map and looking at the stats on Valor.gg, I mean, at least so far, folks, every time I've looked at those stats, more or less, more often than not, those stats have kind of played themselves out in the results. And looking at that, I do feel that if I was a betting man tonight, ladies and gentlemen, my money would probably be on Revenant eSports. And I don't know. It's too early to call it. Orgless 5 are a professional team. They know how to win. And Revenant eSports, another thing to consider is that they might be having a substitution as well, so there will be a change in lineup, and we'll have to see how that affects their gameplay. But Orgless 5, 29% win rate on Haven. Revenant eSports, 67% win rate on Haven. It makes me nervous, man. It makes me nervous. I'll tell you that much. And I'll tell you what we can be sure of. We can't be sure of who's going to win, but what we can be sure of, that it's going to be an absolute banger of a game. And looks like the players are all set to get into Agent Select. So we'll go ahead and take a look at what these players are thinking as we go into this last map. Best of 3. All right. Interesting picks here. Wimp is gonna be on the breach, which I thought he did brilliantly on Fracture. If I'm not mistaken, he was on the breach. And can I just say, he's been their standout player today. He has been an absolute rock solid figure for them. So many rounds come down to those impact kills that he's been able to pick up. Ember has actually moved to Astra. Now he continues to play the role of controller, but he's actually on the Astra this time around. Knight Rider is going to be on the Jet, it looks like. Logista has moved back to a more familiar agent for him, the Killjoy. He's an absolutely devastating Killjoy. And while Loop, it looks like a substitution. So Scar God not playing today's game, today's third map, is going to be Wild Loop, who's going to be coming in as a substitution. On the side of Orgless 5, Casper's going to be on the Sova, as he was on Bind. Beast continues to be on the Astra. Strangers on the Breach. Jivix has moved on to the Chamber, and Salt Trick is actually going to be on the Jet. So A little bit of a change up in agent composition for Orgless 5. Revenant eSports as well. Knight Rider, always good to see him on the jet, man. Always good to see Knight Rider on the jet. He looks like the kind of player that is just better with the AWP in his hands. That's just who he is. That's his playing style. Wild Loop is I think a new player for me. I don't really recognize this name, so we'll have to wait and see what information we are able to source about this player. And this is it. The best of 3, the third map, the semi-finals of the League Ego Oasis Cup, the first edition. We're all squared up at the end of 2 maps. It is down to the third map. And it's going to come down to this one. It is going to be Orgless 5 who will be attacking first this time around. It's going to be Revenant eSports who are going to be on the defense on Haven, and looks like a 5-man move out towards this garage, and Beast will pick off Ember early on, and that is a helpful pick. Garage control has been completely taken.
Blocking vision.
Logista will pull one back,
1 enemy remaining.
but Beast and Trick will do really well to take 2, and Knight Rider was the last player alive, and Trick will pick him up as well as Orgless 5 register their first win on the board. 1-0 on the scoreboard. And Revenant eSports, I don't know if Embers peak outside of Garage. I think that's what cost them control of Garage completely. And Logista and Knight Rider did well to hold off Orgless 5 as much as possible off Seaside, but it wasn't enough in the end. And first round on the board for Orgless 5.
Right here.
Revenant eSports, we've seen them many times this tournament, forced that buy after losing Pistol, but not this time though. Not this time. Knight Rider has backed himself with a Marshall purchase. But he's going to come up a little bit short because looks like it's going to be a C-sided push. Jivix getting the first pick, and Ember will get taken down as he gets spotted in that drone, as Wimp coming out as well, and Trick here is on a rampage. Making the weapons advantage count for themselves. Oops. A friendly fire, friendly flash there. What is Jivix doing? Surely that is
1 enemy remaining.
unnecessary, Jivix. That was unnecessary. It's down just to Wild Loop. The last player is down to 9 HP. And he will get hunted down by Beast as well. A second round on the board. And can I just say, the Jivix should have stayed alive in that round and probably taken that Spectre into the next round. But Orgless 5 feeling really good about themselves. You can see it in the way they are moving. You can see it in the way they are pushing. And 2 rounds on the board. And now Revenant eSports will be coming in with a full buy. And somewhat of a bonus for Orgless 5. Let's see how they play this one out.
Let's start. Blocking vision. Concealment.
Ooh, Logista getting the first pick onto Jivix here, and a good one at that. Trying to make that B push here. Casper will get the trade on the Knight Rider. That's a bit surprising. The Spectre coming out on top here. Casper not taking any damage as well, so maybe Knight Rider was just looking elsewhere at that particular moment. Maybe just a bad case of timing. Nonetheless, that's 1 rifle down. Orgless now moving in towards A site. Take a look at Beast's position.
Concealment.
Getting control of A site. Looks like the plant just might go down. Trick here with the spike. Ooh, that shock dart has brought him down to 75 HP. And now Revenant eSports. Revenant eSports need to work this one out carefully. They don't want to lose any more rifles, and this is already looking like a tough situation for them. A 4 versus 4 retake. They do have the better guns, make no mistake. And Logista here opening things up with a nice pick onto Beast. Gets a follow-up as well onto Stranger. Trick is there to get the trade onto Wimp though. Logista 4k for him in the end. And down just to Casper. 1 versus 2. Logista will get the ace to get that defuse, and I think they have enough time. Yes, they do have enough time, and they have managed to pick up the round number 3. An ace for Logista, looking good, and maybe that's what they needed. Now they have lost 3 rifles. It's maybe 1 or 2 more than what they were willing to lose. Nitrida losing out early on, and as part of that retake they lost a couple more, but Logista coming in clutch, pulling that round back in their favor. Revenant eSports getting off the mark, 2-1 on the scoreboard, and will continue on with somewhat of a full buy. Orgless 5 looking at pushing through this C site earlier on, but Trick will get taken down as Ember will pick him off outside of garage. Logista is alone here at the back of site. Ember's there with him for support. Ooh, Ember and Logista doing really well. It is an absolute slaughter fest here, and Jivix finds himself all alone. And a flawless round in the bag. So that was certainly an eco round. Was that an eco round? I'm not quite sure what transpired there. No, I think it was somewhat of a forced buy from Orgless 5. They have lost that round and will be forced into an eco. And Revenant eSports now looking a bit more comfortable, looking a bit more confident. 2-2 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. It's all square. It's all tied up. Round number 5. Oops.
Deploying drone.
Ooh, that is a helpful tag here, but that stun nearly making him lose his life. But ooh, a good push into B side, getting a couple of picks here in an eco round. That is impressive. That is impressive. Trick has managed to pick up a Vandal as well, and in comes the Rolling Thunder. They want to push A Link, it looks like. Not finding anyone though. Ooh, Ember will steal a kill. He's on site. He will steal that kill. Oh dear, how did this all go so wrong? The lockdown has been destroyed. Logista in a 1v2. I don't think he's aware of him. I don't think he's aware that Stranger's actually on site. I don't think he's got the time. I don't think he's got the time. He might be better off just saving this gun here. Maybe just looking to see if he can inflict any more damage. 150 HP as well. It is worth saving that. And Stranger actually losing his gun. So all in all, a good decision for Revenant eSports. Logista saves his gun and his HP. A 3rd round on the board for Orgless 5. And Revenant eSports will need to recover from that. Let me know in the chat, folks. You can see the poll at this point. It looks like 56% of you, and that percentage has been reducing, still believe that Revenant eSports will be going to the finals. I, for one, am putting my money on Revenant eSports as well, and that is simply because of what the data tells me. Statistics do seem to show that they have a higher win rate on Haven than Orgless 5. But there's 44% of you, probably Orgless fans, who believe that Orgless 5 still have a chance to make it into that finals. And Wimp completely denying entry into this A site. Nitrider with the AWP. Stranger, don't peek this. Stranger, you will pay for this with your life. Do not peek Nitrider with the AWP. Ooh, Wimp gets a nice pick onto Beast, and Nitrider, there you go.
Spike down.
There you go. We looked away for just a second, and Nitrider will make Stranger pay for that peek. Moves back towards A long. He's activated his dash. Ooh, doing well there. Doing well there. And I think that is the first time I'm seeing a Jet pick. I don't think we saw a Jet in bind, did we? I don't think we saw a Jet in bind either. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds to go. It's down to just Trick and Jivix. I think Revenant is definitely aware. They were 100% aware that they were inside that smoke, and Revenant Esports will clean that up. They've lost only one rifle in that round, so their economy should be doing much better when compared to Orgless 5. There you go, 3-3 on the scoreboard. Now, Orgless have got off to a great start, so I don't think Revenant Esports need to get too stressed about the scoreline at this point, but just consolidate from this point onwards. Their economy is looking healthy. They're feeling good about themselves. Logista with that ace. Oh, things are definitely looking in their favor. 3-3 on the scoreboard, folks. Round number 7. Here we go.
Placing alarm bomb.
Placing swarm grenade.
Ooh, an opening pick here on A side. It looks like as Wild Loop has been taken down, Trick has gotten them the opening pick, and Wimp now with the Rolling Thunder. He's got the Rolling Thunder. Does he use it?
You want to play? Let's play.
And Trick has actually pulled out the AWP. Not Trick, my apologies. Jivix has actually pulled out the ultimate. It is a save round. Somewhat of a scattered buy. They've picked up Wild Loop's gun, it looks like, is in the hands of Stranger. And still very much hold up outside. And Wimp goes down. And that means that Revenant Esports have lost the Rolling Thunder, haven't they? They've lost the Rolling Thunder. And Stranger's lurk has been spotted out by Ember. Can he catch him out as he escapes, though? He just misses him. The spike plant has gone down on A side, and now a 3 versus 4 retake. Revenant Esports definitely have a much better buy. Logista in that heaven position. Oh! Casper with a shock dart kill onto Logista in heaven. And what's the call here? Knight Rider and Ember. I think the call is to save. Oh, Knight Rider, he doesn't have the dash. And this is the problem. With a new jet nerf, isn't it? Salt Trick will get taken down. Knight Rider, can he save himself though? He gets a second in Orgless 5. I don't know if that was worth the push. They wanted to get the AWP out of Knight Rider's hands. It just goes to show what a danger man he is with the AWP. And Orgless 5 nonetheless pulling off a round which I think Revenant might be a little bit disappointed with. They did have the much better buy in that particular round, but Orgless 5 doing really well. Salt Trick, can I just say Trick has been so good on the jet so far. It's been such a pleasant change up every time we've seen a team have a different player on the jet. It just seems to be working. We saw this in the other quarterfinal, or was it the semi-final? I can't quite remember.
Concealment.
But a change up in agent composition, agent picks for different teams do seem to work. And Knight Rider will get the first pick here. Gets traded out though by Jivix. Oh, this could be dangerous. Trick here not taking much damage. Looks like the push on towards this A site is going to continue. Stranger is going to use some of his utility to help Salt Trick get onto the site. He gets another pick. And Wild Loop is there to get the trade, but Casper will be there to pick him off as well. Once again, Revenant Esports find themselves in a numbers disadvantage. Logista looking to steal a kill before it beginning this retake. Oh my, Logista! Somebody stop this man.
One enemy remaining.
He gets taken down. Casper in a 1v1 against Ember. Ember has a lot of time to work with here. But no, he peeks it, and Casper will catch him off guard, and the headshot will connect. A 5th round on the scoreboard, and that is not good news for Revenant Esports. They did look like they were building some momentum towards them.
Turret out.
Right here, on my way.
Placing sentry.
Scanning ahead. Right.
All right. 5-3 on the scoreboard. Looks like Revenant eSports have forced the buy again. The economies were so good, so they can afford to do this. Trick will get tagged with a drone. And Orgless 5 doing something that we haven't seen them do too much in this match so far is make a rotation. Ember will get tagged quite a bit while he was trying to get information through that jiggle peak. And Orgless 5 looks like another rotation back to A maybe. Oh, Knight Rider, the op is punishing, but Jivix for the second round in a row gets a trade, and Stranger gets a pick onto Wild Loop as well. And Revenant eSports, this A site is being lost too frequently and too easily for my liking. Surely Wimp here outside here. Now, Wimp cannot. Wimp, should he have waited? Should he have waited?
Ten seconds left. Spike planted.
I don't know if that was the right call, guys, if I'm being honest, from Wimp.
Last player standing.
Jivix will take down Logista. Ember manages to get Beast, but he's down to 20 HP and will get taken down. And that is another round, and Orgless 5 now stringing together 3 wins back to back, folks. This is not what the data suggested. This is not what the statistics were indicating. This is Orgless 5 looking really good and feeling so strong tonight. 6-3 now on Haven. Now Haven is an attacking friendly map, so make no mistake, Revenant eSports will come and have their own half on attack. But I just wonder if Wimp perhaps should have been a little bit more patient before committing that Rolling Thunder. It was a split-second decision that he had to take, and in the end, he did decide to do it all alone. A full eco buy here from Revenant eSports. So I think the objective here would just be to not lose too many guns here, and Trick here so aggressive, moving out the last 3 players here outside of CT, and there you go. Knight Rider gets a couple with this Blade Storm. Interesting. Oh, Jivix will take him down. Knight Rider, good try from him with the Blade Storm, but it wasn't enough. A 7th round registered for Orgless 5. 2 more rounds to go in the half, ladies and gentlemen. Surely Revenant eSports need both of them to keep this competitive, to keep this going. Or I'm afraid it might be too many rounds already. No timeouts yet, and I wonder if Revenant eSports, that's what they need at this point. Do they just need to take a timeout and sort of sort things out a little bit? But looks like they're all set to go. Guys, 56% of you still believe Revenant eSports is going to the finals. If you haven't yet voted, please go ahead and vote, guys. It's in the chat right below you. Make sure to like this stream. It really helps with the algorithm. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, join our Discord, and follow us on Instagram as well. I tell you who's watching this match right now is Team True Rippers. Well, they should be watching even if they're not. Orgless 5 committing the Rolling Thunder onto B side. Can they get the spike down? Oh, Knight Rider continues to inflict the damage, but the garage push just didn't work out for them. Oh, Jivix taking down Knight Rider. How many times has he done that today? Wild Loop, a nice little shock dart kill onto Stranger, but Strick will be there to take the trade. 8-3 on the scoreboard. That economy is not looking great for Revenant eSports. Looks like it will be a forced buy of sorts. And take a look at Orgless 5's economy. They are rich.
Here. Get out of my way.
You want to play? Let's play.
Alright, looks like Orgless 5 are going to be moving in. Jivix will get the first pick onto Ember. Casper will take down Knight Rider. Wimp gets the trade onto Trick, but it is not enough. It is down just to Wild Loop in a 1 versus 3 situation. He's one shot away from the Hunter's Fury, but I don't know if that's the right move, honestly, in these circumstances. And looks like a nice little CT push. Surely that wasn't the shock that he had in mind.
Nowhere to run!
And the final round in the first half going the way of Orgless 5. Folks, this comes to me as a surprise, surely. Now Haven is an attacker friendly map, so maybe that had something to do with it, but honestly the stats do suggest that Revenant eSports enjoy playing Haven more than Orgless 5, but tonight it has been a different story altogether. Orgless 5 feeling right at home in Haven, and Revenant eSports perhaps missing Scar God a little bit. That change up in lineup, maybe that has affected them, I can't really tell. But 3-9 on the scoreboard. Revenant eSports, they've got a mountain to climb now, haven't they?
Right there.
Quick couple of picks coming in early on. Jivix is looking so dangerous here. Logista and Wild Loop will get a couple of trays. That will help. They have time to regroup now. Logista gets another, actually, a 2 versus 2 now.
Last player standing.
Oh, Jivix, you madman. 4K with that Sheriff in the end, and will pick up pistol round. How big is this, ladies and gentlemen, as Orgless 5 inch ever so closer towards that GG, and perhaps looking to secure that berth in that grand finals on Sunday against True Rippers. Revenant eSports, it's now or never. I've seen you guys force spies so many times. You need to do it now. Take a look at this. They are going in for 3 Sheriffs and a Spectre buy. And Wild Loop is going to be on the frenzy. What is the play though? Is it a mid push?
Shock dart.
Logista will get tagged here, and that drone eventually getting taken down. Revenant eSports, a split approach. They also have players going towards this A site now. Trick with that Marshall is trying to inflict some damage, doesn't really connect, has to fall back. Revenant eSports collected outside of A main. Looks like they're making the move in now. Ooh, Knight Rider gets an early pick here, that is helpful. He gets a second as well. He should be able to get the third, but Trick, oh, Knight Rider, he runs out of bullets at the worst time imaginable, and Trick is just done enough to pick up that trade. 72 HP, he still has that Marshall. Ember's playing far away from this plant. Logista's the only player on site, he's got a Spectre. Logista will get another. Wimp gets a 4th. It is down just to Casper, down to 30 HP. Looks like Revenant eSports have found their form finally in this map. Will pick up this round, hopefully. What? I don't even know how that happened, but Casper's actually picked up a couple of kills. Oh, this is a Killjoy turret death, isn't it? It is. Logista will get that fight. And it's the desperation, it's the helplessness from Casper that did it for me in the end. He just looked at that turret and he pulled out his knife and he was like, GG. But credit to Revenant eSports, they've found it. They needed to reach deep within and find a win, and they have done exactly that. After losing pistol, they forced a buy and they picked up the win. Knight Rider is going to go for the Phantom purchase. Logista is going to go in for the Vandal, 3 Spectres, and on the side of Orgless 5, it's going to be an eco round.
Scanning ahead. Take flight.
No, Casper. I don't think Casper. Oh, I think he knows. I think he knows. They didn't allow the drone to come through, but I think he knew. Uh-oh. They haven't cleared the corners. Orgless entering here might... Revenant eSports entering through a shot could be pivotal here. Casper with that shorty. Take a look at this. This man has a death wish. Take a look at this. Jibix getting that first pick. Stranger will get the trade though onto Wild Loop. Wimp with a 3k. Nicely done, and is down to just Beast on the side of Orgless 5, and he has nothing to work with.
30 seconds left.
He's got no stars. He's got no shields. He's only got a classic. Now picking up that sheriff will surely give him a sound cue.
Spike planted.
And Wimp will be there to pick up a nice little 4k. Revenant eSports finding some momentum in the second half. Much needed, you would imagine. 10-5 on the scoreboard. Are we seeing a comeback, ladies and gentlemen? Are we seeing a comeback? Revenant eSports. Let's take a quick look at that poll. What do you guys think? 54%. I tell you what, that percentage is slowly creeping towards Orgless 5. 54% of you now believe that Revenant eSports is still going to win and go ahead into that finals. And 46% of you believe that it's going to be Orgless 5. So we're going to have to wait and see which one of you guys is right about that. A full buy from both teams. Trick with the op. Where is he opping though? He's opping at a shot. A mid push coming in from Revenant eSports. Very cagey approach here from Revenant eSports.
Off your feet!
The Rolling Thunder has been committed and Jivix will get taken down. He should have probably TP'd out of there a little bit earlier, you would think. But Revenant eSports will have the site nonetheless. Does the Killjoy lockdown get committed as well? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And this is going to buy them a lot of time. 10 seconds to be precise. Orgless 5 will have to wait here. Oh, Casper moving in. Lockdown destroyed with the aftershock. And Trick gets a pullback. Hang on. What's going on here? Revenant eSports.
One enemy
They look like they had it. And Ember now in a 1 versus 3 situation. He's coming from CT, but he doesn't have time because that defuse is going to get stuck. And Orgless 5 have pulled off that win after losing control of site completely. And they even lost to Jivix early on. And what a retake that was from Orgless 5. Revenant eSports surely will be feeling hard done by that. The economy is once again against the ropes. Wild Loop will not be able to afford a gun here. Night Rider will have to play on the Blade Storm. Wimp can afford a full buy. And take a look at the economy on the side of Orgless 5. Full buys and maybe even 2 operators coming in.
Track them down. Scanning
Out of
ahead.
my way.
Deploying drone.
Ooh, a couple of shots not connecting here with the AWP. Where has he repositioned? Jivix is actually on site watching a shot. Now, do you rotate knowing that there is an AWP over here, especially the chamber ult, which basically combines the best of the AWP and the best of the Marshal? Oh, Logista. What a headshot onto Stranger. He had no chance. He had no chance. And Revenant eSports now moving in towards C side. Casper is here. They have not spotted him out. He will take down Knight Rider. Can't do more damage as Ember will shut him down. Oh, Trick, you nasty, nasty man. Oh my gosh, he wants more. He wants more.
planted.
He gets another. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? He gets a third and the retake is complete. Ladies and gentlemen, Orgless 5 are playing a gem of a match tonight. Did you see that retake? Trick was unbelievable with the Blade Storm. And Revenant eSports, I do feel bad for them at this point because their rotation seemed to be on point. It seemed like the right decision, didn't it? It really did. And folks, whatever we learned about the stats tonight, you can throw that out of the window because Orgless 5 have just showed up tonight and are like, we want to take this match home.
That works. All set up.
It is match point for Orgless 5 and a couple of Spectres for Revenant eSports, a Sheriff in the hands of Logista and a couple of Phantoms to work with. Can Revenant eSports live to see another round in this map? Oh, Ember, what are you doing? Walks into B-side, picks up both the picks on A-Link and C-Link. Surely the plant is going to go down. Surely this is a round that they should be looking at taking away. Logista, remember, he's still only on a Sheriff. None of those weapons are accessible. Orgless 5 preparing for the retake. Jivix has walked onto site. Trick gets a good pick onto Ember here. The first pick going down. And looks like the first bomb has been activated. I don't know if it was the right one, honestly. Jivix, he knew when I tried it was. Gets a second as well. It is down to just Trick here. Oh, he's got the op. He doesn't have the time. You gotta save the op. He is gonna save the op. And Orgless 5 happy to give that round away. Revenant eSports do live to play another round in this matchup. Wild Loop can't really get a better gun than the Spectre though. And their economies are still not looking fantastic. But they will have to make do. They will have to make do and they are capable of making do with it as well. 12-6 on the scoreboard. You have to imagine it's a long road back from up here. They need to win 6 rounds back to back in order to force an overtime in this particular map. 12-6, match point. Orgless 5. Looks like Revenant is favoring this A-sided push and Orgless actually being very respectful of that. Jivix is actually... Oh, there you go. That's the reason why.
Spike down A.
Oh, Wild Loop doing well, but Trick is there to get the trade. Out comes the Rolling Thunder. This could be trouble. This could be trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Revenant eSports Logista is the last player alive. He was stunned, but he will take down Stranger. Now he has lost control of the spike. 150 HP on him. This man is capable. This man is capable.
Bomb grenade out.
He forces Trick out of that position. All 3 players here. Oh, this could have been a lineup, but it wasn't to be. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the GG. And looks like the stats have been proved wrong as Orgless 5 have gone ahead and won the map number 3. And that means our grand finals on Sunday is going to be Team True Rippers versus the Orgless 5. Revenant eSports, I do feel bad. I'm sure they'll be disappointed with their performance on Haven because I think they consider Haven to be one of their stronger maps. At least the data did seem to suggest that. And Orgless 5 actually having only a 29% win rate on Haven, but despite that they've managed to pull things through. And in the end, 13-7 and 13-6, the last 2 maps, Orgless 5 doing a fantastic job of pulling it back after losing that first map in Fracture. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, please be sure to do that. Like this stream, folks. It really helps us a lot. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord server. This is the League Ego Oasis Cup, and we have just about wrapped up with both our semi-finals and what grand finals we have in store for us on Sunday. Please be sure to tune in for that. I also want to mention that we are having a Battle Pass giveaway that is live currently. We will be giving away more Battle Passes, maybe even one on Sunday. But regardless of that, we give one away every single week. You heard me right. We give away a Battle Pass every week. All you got to do is follow all our socials, join our Discord server, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure to comment on that giveaway post, tagging 5 of your friends, and you might just be one of the winners of that Battle Pass. But for now, folks, that is pretty much the end of our stream. Thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate all of you guys who were here in the chat. Castro, Rose, so many of you guys. Lenny Francis in the chat. What's up, Lenny? So many of them in the chat. So I really appreciate all of you guys for coming here and being with us. But that's all for now. Thanks so much for joining us. Make sure to tune in on Sunday for the grand finals, and I will see you guys in that one.